Righto, we're going to do the draw, which is going to be also live streamed. We've got some likely lads here that are going to be the scrutineers. I'm not sure about either of the choices actually now. I was going to introduce Ricky Bolton, the president of Speedway New Zealand, and also an ex-street stock driver, so it might be a bit dodgier than probably Malcolm Nardoi up here doing it. But just to keep them in check, we've also got Russell Joblin, who's been seconded into this role again. Thank you for your efforts, Russell. Okay, so what we're going to do for the stock car guys, so you know, I'm going to call out one driver. You come up, you select one of the mugs on this side, which is the stock car guys, and underneath will be who your partner is for the weekend, okay? And then you'll get given another mug to give to that driver, okay? When we do the grand parade, it would be neat if we could all go out, please, and you go out with your partner, just so that we can announce it to the crowd as we go. Awesome. Righto, well, let's get this underway because it does take a bit of time. We'll start with 1NZ, Ben Ellis. Benjamin Ellis.
The order it's read out, that's actually a grid for the first race.
And his partner is 28C Dave Parrott. Dave, if you stand up so that Benjamin knows who he's with. Where are you, Dave? Oh, down there. Thank you, Dave. Right, 79P Kyle Rowe. And just so you all know, the grids are already done and you start beside your peer all weekend. Okay? So if you've got grid 1, your partner's beside you on grid 2. Cool. 21C, Dan Cross. 808, Scott Tennant. (136C) Tyler McPherson. Stop, grab that. 4W Keegan Levine. Stop. Taylor Lamp, 992. False start. You're next. (53C) Chris Wildey. There's Chris down there. Keegan Levine. Sorry, Keegan. Away we go this time.
You're wrong, boy.
47C Cameron Dench. You about Cameron? Just down there. 16B Brett Loveridge. Oh, you've got way better handwriting than me. You know with the super stock. What number you got there? Harley Robb. Oh, took a while for the first ooh. Dylan Ashton. (36C) Daniel McNally. Kyle Lamp. Wade Sweeting, 151. Cameron Swift. Cameron got called up on Tuesday as a last-minute reserve, so thanks for your efforts, Cameron. Quick turnaround. 59 Brad Rosewarne. Sheldon Araperi. Which, don't even start that. Hey, Russell. Number 9C, Daniel. There he goes there. Dion Mooney. (13C) Jaden Nickel. Just here. Kane McDonald. Colin Cameron. Stu Rackham. '66C Daniel Saunders. Daniel, where are you? Down there. Kaylin Mooney. '56 Awa Johns. Where are you, Awa? Oh, yep. Callum Sturzaker. Two left. '43 Kieran Skur. Kieran. And Regan Penn. Braden Lennon. Oh, yeah. Was it rigged, team? Is it just make sure it's got number 4 under it? Yep, Braden Lennon. Well done, everybody. Right, that's your pairs for the stock cars. Right, we'll move to the super stocks. Darryl Wallace. It's obviously off grid 1. Yeah, opposite this year. Ah, sorry, that side over there. Tom Stanaway. Malcolm Reed. You look like you should be in the youth mini stocks without that beard. Chad Ace, one of last year's champions. Tom Cooper. Keegan Levine. Malcolm Nardai. Russell Joblin's got to do his. Oh, it isn't. No, it's not. Wayne Hemi. So for the stock car guys that are new to this, there's a couple of accusations a couple of years ago that the draw was rigged, and that's what all the giggle's about. $500, thanks, Malcolm. Russell and I are going halves. 913 Cam Godfrey. Phil Ogle. Down the left there. 282S. Nigel Keats. No, over there. $571 Jamie Hemi. Harley Robb. The glass one. Kendall Ashton. Anthony McKenzie. $62p is Adam Joblin, isn't it? Yep. Cool. Lloyd Jennings, please. (28S) Blair Eulenberg. 48N Brett Nichols, please. (581P) Jordan Deere. Trevor Lynham. Scott Joblin, 52P. Zach West. (46W) Ethan Levine. 95N Alex Hill. (118R) Bryce Steiner. Jaden Ward. Ooh, only 3 left. Oh, he did it with his eyes closed. Adam Groom, 9B. 34C Caleb West. (72P) Simon Joblin. 79C Ben Hearn. Last one. Who's left? Yeah, well, yeah, already had. And 46B Quinn Ryan. That's our draw for the weekend. Also, special acknowledgement to Peter Field. Fieldsy's, how many Battle of the Stocks is it, Fieldsy? 28. This is his 28th Battle of the Stocks, and Fieldsy is going to run off the back like he did the last couple of years. He just wants to be a part of it. Thanks, Fieldsy. I think a big round of applause for Fieldsy. Well, that's the live draw done. Thank you very much. We did just live stream that, so if we've got it wrong, Russell, we're all in the shit. Especially with the President of Speedway New Zealand here too. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Please do the Grand Parade in your pairs when we call you, please. It's going to be in about 15 minutes. Thank you.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Koken Woodford Glen Speedway down in the very, very sunny Christchurch area of the South Island of New Zealand. We welcome everyone who's watching from New Zealand and a big fat kia ora to everyone who's watching internationally. What you've just seen is we've got two groups today who are racing in pairs, Super Stocks and the Stock Cars. So what you just seen was the the live draw. South Island's picking a North Island teammate to race with for the weekend. So this is very different. Normally we bring to you individual racing, but this is actually teams of two. So you've just seen the live draw. What's going to happen is the first race is the grid draws already been done, and they were pulled out as they were called out in the club rooms. So what's going to happen is they race as a pair. So whoever they picked out is going to be next to them on the grid. They will keep that pairing for the 6 races of the entire weekend. So how that works is we are looking for an accumulative of points for each pairing, and also the highest point scorer individually as well. Whew, that's a lot to get through. So what's going to happen is tonight we're going to have 32 super stocks in the super stock heats. We're going to have 32 stock cars in the stock car heats. That's going to be drawn down, and then tomorrow we have the shootout and the final. So this is probably one of the funnest events in the whole calendar of New Zealand. So it's the closest thing to a New Zealand title that you'll come across, but of course without the New Zealand title. So what the drivers are, they're a little bit more relaxed. They're here for a fun weekend. So when we go around the pits, very soon there's going to be a grand parade, but we'll get interviews with the drivers and what have you as they go through. But what you'll find is the drivers are a little bit more relaxed today. Of course they want to win this. Like I say, it's the closest thing to a New Zealand title that they're going to get without actually being a title. But they're here for the fun. They've had a really hard season. So the start of the season, of course, we started out with a lot of rainouts, and there are a lot of drivers who actually made their first running at the New Zealand title in New Zealand and maybe just didn't get their car dialed in the way they wanted. So this one is going to be a really fun one to watch. Of course, Woodford Glen Speedway, it's a really odd-shaped speedway track. So what we have is turn 1 and 2 is a nice round sweeping corner. We've got a big long back straight. Turn 3 and 4, however, is really tight, and then we have a super long front straight as well. So what that means is the driver's going to need to have their gearing absolutely on point. They're going to have the car set up to pretty much come around turn 3 and 4 because it's seriously tight. You're probably going to find too that there's a little bit of difference in the driving. So you're going to find some drivers going to come down full noise and use the brakes. They could even chop it down to the third gear, and you're going to find other drivers that are just going to ride the accelerator and almost what's the word? Not skid. Skate around the corner and then just power it out. So what you'll see, the likes of Wayne Hemme, of course, loves this track. He's very good here. Of course, he came down from the North Island and won the second in the South Island champs. He absolutely loves this track, and of course he's paired up with, would you believe, Malcolm Nartai. That's his home track. So that to me might be the pairing to watch for the weekend. Also, another really good pairing that'd be really interesting to watch is Kendall Ashton from up north, and then of course she's paired with Harley Robb. So I'm going to go and grab those guys for an interview very shortly. The drivers are coming out shortly for a grand parade. In fact, you can hear some of the engines starting up already. So we're going to go jump out on the track. We're going to try and grab the drivers as they go by. Like I said, this is a fun weekend. We welcome you all, and we hope you enjoy the weekend. Of course, sitting behind me, as you can see, is we've got super saloons, production saloons, modifieds behind me here. Really cool to see the youth mini stocks being involved in this weekend. That's quite cool because these are our up and coming champions. I've actually lined up some really cool interviews. We've got a driver that, would you believe, came straight from a mini stock and straight into a super stock. So we're going to go have a chat with him later on because he's of course going to talk about all the differences and how many more hours it takes to run this super stock. Sorry, we've got drivers running everywhere. But we'll be back with you shortly. We hope that you enjoy the weekend. Dial in. We at the Pits Media absolutely love knowing where you've come from, so leave us a little comment. We had viewers from Vietnam and Nova Scotia, so come and welcome. We hope you enjoy it. Like I say, sorry, all the drivers going to come through soon, so you're right, come on through. So we'll be back really shortly.
Hi, Malcolm Nardo from Suck It Up. We specialise in hydro excavation in the Canterbury region, safe dig methods around services. Also we do septic tank cleaning, drain cleaning, CCTV over your pipes. If you want an excellent service, please check us out on Facebook.
Suck It Up Limited, 740 Marston Road, Christchurch. Call them 24 hours a day on 027 588 8809.
Hey, so joining me down pit side is Cam Godfrey. Now, Cam Godfrey, you look like a deer caught in the headlights. Your first, you're going, yeah. Your first battle of the stocks. How are you feeling?
Yeah, nerves are starting to get up now. I've chosen my partner, but yeah, pretty excited to be banging doors with some of these guys from the North Island. So yeah, we'll go out and have a skid and see what happens, I suppose.
And of course, who is your partner this weekend?
We've got Phil Ogle, 282S. So yeah, no offence to him, but I don't know many of the names in the sport. So yeah, I shook his hand and had a wee bit of a yarn. So ready to crack on. So help out where I can.
Awesome. Now, paint us a picture. Cam, how many meetings have you had in this car?
4 meetings.
4 meetings. And what were you driving? It's all right. What were you driving before jumping in the Superstock?
I was just racing grass carts down here in Christchurch. So bit of a jump from a wee go-kart race around in a paddock to one of these full-blown Superstocks. So, yeah.
So it's like, oh, the power. Tell us, the grass cart that you're driving and this here, tell us the difference in horsepower.
Pretty massive. The go-karts, it has got a 450 KDM in it. But yeah, this thing's just a completely different beast. Getting strapped into it, turning it on, can't get enough of it really. So yeah, pretty excited for the guys at Easy Lawn, Glenn Scott, for giving me the opportunity. He sponsors our go-karting as well, so he bought the Superstock and asked me to drive it. So yeah, pretty excited and pretty grateful for him to give me the opportunity. So yeah.
Absolutely. And do you think you'd go back to grass carts? That might be a little bit of a hobby or another sideline.
No, we still do that full time. It's a pretty big part of our family. We've been doing it for 13 years. So yeah, we've got New Zealand champs coming up in April over Easter weekend. So it's still definitely something I'm keen to keep doing. So yeah.
I think I might actually see you down at the carts actually. So tell us, 4th meeting. What's the difference? Like how, obviously grass carts, this big, we're in a Superstock now. Tell us the difference, and first of all, tell us the difference in how many hours it takes to maintain this compared to the cart.
Yeah, it's definitely taken up most of my summer since we've started it, but yeah, just the amount of adjustment that you can do on these things is just incredible. Like, it's just endless to try and get the car hooked up on the dirt. So sort of learning that is throwing us through a bit of a loop, but yeah, we've got good guys like Malcolm and his crew helping us out, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, we're slowly getting there. So this meeting will definitely be a bit of a baptism by fire, racing against these guys. So yeah, it's going to be good.
And of course, for the car, the only thing you can really change on the car is the tyre pressure. With this, it's like a whole different kettle of fish. So I see this is your pit crew behind you. Do they help you out in the carts as well?
Yeah, so pretty good of my old man and my little brother jumping in and spending the hours. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be able to do this on my own. So it's pretty good of them to jump sort of last minute and help me out with this opportunity. So yeah, pretty grateful. So it's good.
Awesome. So it's a whole team. You've been together a couple of years, eh?
Yeah. So obviously Dad's like the head guy with the go-karting, so he's taking the reins, and yeah, my little brother's like pretty awesome with all this sort of stuff, loves cars and all that, so yeah, it's pretty good.
And did they think you were nuts when you said, hey, we're going Superstocking?
Oh, they were more shocked that someone was giving me the opportunity to jump in one of these things, but yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, obviously, like I said, my little brother's he's probably a little bit jealous with obviously me getting the skid instead of him, but yeah, him being behind me full 100% is pretty awesome. So yeah.
Well, listen, I hear you've been called up for the Grand Parade. We wish you all the luck. Thank you for taking the time to speak to us. Can't wait to see what you can do. Hopefully, we can get you up on the podium.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks.
Fans, and welcome to Koken Woodford Glen. We've got our director all confused because I told her we were going to talk, and we did.
We've got a director?
We've got a director. Yeah, well,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, I stitched her on that one, to be fair. So those of you streaming courtesy of the Pits TV. McTV. Yeah, well, hey, look, it's going to be a rough day. I mean, you can hear the voices. Well, hey, look, I'm getting it in both ears. I'm getting it from you, Tony, and I'm getting it from her. So it is going to be a rough night, hopefully on the track as well, as we are here for the Suck It Up 28th Battle of the Stocks. And of course, it's now not just Super Stocks, it's now Stock Cars.
Stock Cars as well. 32 Super Stocks, 16 visitors, 16 locals. We count the Nelson guys as locals. We've also got 32 what used to be called standard stocks. We now call it stock cars out there, yeah.
And 10 years up
again, 16 visitors and 16 locals. So it's a double treat, really, in terms of the racing. They race as pairs, they accumulate points as pairs, and the biggest trophies go to the pairs. But there's also an individual competition as well for the highest point scorer within each of those grades. As well as those guys racing tonight, we've got Super Saloons doing an interprovincial teams race, courtesy of Elsden Eldercare. I wanted to say elderflower, but I think it's Elsdon Eldercare.
Eldercare.
So we've got teams from nominally from Nelson, Dunedin and Christchurch, although there's a few ring-ins in each of the teams.
There's a bit of cross-pollination between them.
Cross-pollination, that's a good term. And we've also got production saloons and youth mini stocks and modifieds on the program tonight, but for once the modifieds are just doing a few laps and that's it, nothing special for them.
Well, to be fair to the modifieds, they would have had the New Zealand title by now, but thank you COVID, thank you all the things that come along with that lovely little situation this country's had. But then on the follow-on is that a lot of these guys have had some dramas in the last few weeks between breaking lifters, damaging engines, and basically if it had been the New Zealand title when it was meant to be, they were smoked. They were toast. They were gone. A lot of Christchurch competitors have managed to freshen. A lot. 3 or 4 of them have managed to get engines in their cars.
I see Nathan Astor's car's back, for instance, tonight.
To be fair, he was going to be racing in the New Zealand title with a loaner engine. Now he's got his own one back, and then he's going to get a bit of valuable seat time.
Yeah.
Of course, stock cars and super stocks is all about them tonight. And I am really looking forward to this because this would have to be the largest contact meeting in the South Island this year. And our productions will come around to grid it up. First race
of the night, event 1 on the program, brought to us by Challenge Waimak. They're coming off Enviroways turn. It's what we call turn 4 here at Woodford Glen. The green is waving. Brian's got the racing underway, and it's the 3NZ of Vaughan Fairburn who managed to get that Honda out in front into turn 1 and 2, and he's got a lead of about a car length over Matthew Cox in the 66. Bit of a battle behind there, 91, that's one of the Baileys, Alan Bailey I think in that one, and he's the 3 wide into turn 3, which is not usually recommended. A little bit of adjustment there, you won't say self-adjustment from the 12N car of Cornelius, but I think there was a little bit of assistance there too. The 99 machine's in the mix as well in 5th place at the moment. But out front, Vaughan Fairburn streaking down the back straight into Enviroways turn, that's turn 3 and 4. And coming onto the front straight now, looks as though he's got this race under control. 91, Alan Bailey in the BMW in 2nd place. No doubt he'll be working that mighty German machine to try and catch up. And then quite a battle between Cornelius and the 12N car, the 86 of David Phileas, and the 21 there of Clark for the next few places. The rest of the field strung out a little bit behind, but everyone's kept going and no incidents, which is good to see. And unlike our ELS, which has decided not to record any laps. Don't you just love the technology, Jared?
It's stunning.
Vaughan Fairburn, anyway, no doubt about who's leading this race. He's got a lead of about 10 car lengths at least over Alan Bailey in the 91 BMW. Cornelius in the 12N car, closing a little bit, I think, in that 3rd place. Could be a challenge for 2nd here before the end of the race. Phileas just dropping back a little bit. The 99 car getting taily there coming out of turn 2. Clark gets past up the inside along with the 72 of Brad Gordon. Go back to the 1NZ car. Looking resplendent in that black and multicoloured livery, but he just can't get past those battling cars in front of him, and he's already the best part of the whole back straight behind Vaughan Fairburn. So back out front we go for Fairburn in that 3NZ car. Immaculate looking car, Honda. He works at Honda, he's the chief Honda technician in Christchurch, and so he certainly knows how to make a Honda car go to absolutely 101% of its potential, and you can see that on the track as he's stretching the legs of that machine and winning this production race by some margin. White flag about to come out, which means 1 lap to go. Brian waves that, and I can't see Vaughan Fairburn being headed off here. Alan Bailey holding on to 2nd place at the moment. Cornelius in the 12 car from Nelson, our visitor, the one visitor we've got in this grade tonight, settling for 3rd at the moment. And coming off turn 4 down the front straight for the last time, you'd have to say an easy win for Vaughan Fairburn.
Certainly did look easy there, Tony, and I guess, we've got the 21 car of Clark parked down at turn 4 in the wall nose first. So the racer, he's going to hook reverse, there we go. Front of the admirers. He is, I don't know, Tony, if I was fully comfortable with the comment of Vaughan Fairburn streaking down the back straight, but we'll leave it at that as the night goes on. Certainly no record times in any of that, all lapping around about the 21 second mark. And a nice quick 8 lap race. And the track, Tony, is looking pretty smooth at this point.
It does look smooth. It looks quite grippy. This is one of the things about Battle of the Stocks. Bianca was talking on the stream earlier tonight, and you heard the interview in the stadium about how this is quite a fast track for super stocks in particular. They reach some of their fastest speeds of the season here, don't they, if the surface is good?
It's a stupidly fast track. As you get to the end of the grandstand, the Valley Cars Warehouse grandstand on the back straight there, and you start to turn it in at turn 3. That is about as fast as you're ever going to go in a super stock. It is
any track in the country.
On any track, yeah. Yep. I mean, don't get me wrong, Bay Park probably has potential for more momentum, and the straights here are the same length as Blenheim, but Blenheim's corners are a little bit tighter. You don't get the runoff as you would at turn 2. So about the end of the grandstand is about as fast as you're ever going to go. And I remember years ago talking to Kyle Fraser about it, and he was still accelerating at the end of the grandstand, and he said it was what your eyes become quite wide as you enter turn 3 and realise it's not tight, but if you haven't turned it in and got it in for the corner, you're going in to eat some concrete.
Yeah, absolutely. So exciting stuff for the drivers. It's one of the reasons they love to come here and race this meeting. The chance to carry momentum through turns 1 and 2, build that speed down the long back straight, and then hit that really fast patch, as you say, around the end of the grandstand just before the braking zone. And you either brake or you use the cars in front of you.
Well, this is the beautiful thing with stock cars and super stocks. You can do that, even in super saloons on occasion.
Oh yeah, there's a few.
Yeah, there's one or two.
Have done that.
And of course, with that in mind, those first couple of laps are going to be all hectic as anything, particularly entering turn 1. That is going to be very, very close and hard racing. And I guess one thing they have been told about tonight: if you put your front left wheel on the pole line, it's okay, it's tolerable, we can live with it. If you put your wheel on the ripple strip, you'll be penalised.
Okay.
So that is what the referees are looking for tonight. So those of you at home that are watching and you think guys are throwing wheels over pole lines, they've been told they can run the front left wheel on the pole line. But as soon as you touch that ripple strip, you know you've gone well past where you're allowed to be.
And if you watch closely, if you're watching on the live stream or watching in the stadium, you will generally see when a car hits that ripple strip, because you can see the movement in the front wheels up and down, up and down, up and down as it just touches the edge of it.
But we're also particularly good here at Koken Woodford Glen to not water the inside of the pole line.
Yep.
And so it is dusty as you come in there. Now this is the interprovincial saloon teams.
Ilston Eldercare bringing us this 3-heat Super Saloon Teams competition, and there's a final at the end of the night that's not part of the teams thing, just an all-in one. The guys have got flags on their cars, as you can see, not just to make them look pretty and nice, but to actually tell you which team they're racing for. Yeah, and there's quite a mix here, to be honest. So what we can tell is the Christchurch team ironically consists of 16R, Mark Osborne, who, whilst probably one of the closest to people who live to Woodford Glen, is contracted to Rotorua. Hayden Mackay in the 86C. The other cars are Richie Taylor in the 58, 73 of Fluffy Brocott, and then Rob Flood, who contracts to Christchurch but lives in Blenheim, and Paul Berg in the 76, who's just up the road here in Kaiapoi. And they've got the red and black flags with the checkered part on it too. They certainly do. The Nelson team consists of the 492 of Campbell McManaway, the 471 of... I'm having a blank moment here. Nielsen, I think. Nielsen, I think. We'll get there. I'm having a wee... We'll get back to that one. I'm having a brain moment. We'll come back. 19C, Malcolm Nartai. So it is starting to get 12N Shane Carey. We know that one. And actually, to be fair to Shane, it's great to see him back here at Woodford Glen. It's been a long... He's not doing as much racing as he used to do, but awesome to see him back out on the track. The 88 car of Monera, definitely a Nelson car, and the 91 of Russ. Now the Dunedin team, 1NZ of Pete Dixon. Now to be fair, he is man from Central Otago. He was in Central Otago for a long time, so they can claim him. Then we go to the 8D car of Soper. 861 Ricky Bolton, okay, well we'll call that one legit. The Alistair Lister in the 4 car, pilot from down south, and the 3 car, which I got a sneaking suspicion is the 3NZ car there, of Willie Woodhouse. So a couple of saloons have integrated in there. And the 444 of the Rock, Kevin Huddlestone, rounds out the Dunedin team.
And we look like we are locked and loaded as we head down the back straight. It is Osborne and McManaway. Oh, super stock drivers at the front.
Oh, goodness me, this is going to be interesting. So, big field of super saloons here. They're racing as teams. That means you might not get quite the passing you expect. But off the front, it's Osborne and McManaway has to yield to Osborne there, who takes the line and the lead out of turn 2. 86 Hayden Mackay got a great exit off 2 there, and he's in 3rd place. Battle between Dixon and Soper in 4th. We go back to Keegan in the 871 car, and behind him Malcolm Nartai almost chops the front off the 58 car. Not sure
Richie giving him some treatment.
Richie appreciated that. That's one for the highlights reel, I think. Out front though, it looks as though Osborne is still leading the 492 of McManaway. They've got a few car lengths over the 86 of Hayden Mackay. We go back to Dixon, whose car looks as though it's about to tip over, but it's designed to work that way. Don't panic, folks, in turn 2. You won't get a rolling 1NZ on you. Well, we hope not anyway. Soper back in 5th place in the 8 car, as quick as he always is here at Koken Woodford Glen. Keegan starting to get the pedal down, the track drying out a little bit now. It's going to suit Keegan as he'll run the higher line. 19, Malcolm Nartai holding off the 58 of Taylor. We go back to the 861, Ricky Bolton just ahead of...
Manera in the wall.
And we've got one in the wall, 88 Dave Manera out of turn 1 and 2. Oh boy.
So Osborne, he's in control. McManaway's not too far behind with the 86 car of Mackay, just falling back, and certainly that 1NZ car looks like it should be at Bristol this weekend, the way it's going into the corners. But interesting, he is all over the back of Mackay in these last couple of laps. So Hayden knows he's got a tiger on his tail, and Manera just limping to the infield. Don't know if he's hit the wall particularly hard, but it was enough to park him up. No, he has actually.
Oh, he has. You can look at the front wheel there. Now, the history of that car, Jared, you know that one?
That's the X1NZ of Mark Osborne. That's his last Hypermac.
I thought so. So Mark Osborne knows that car inside out, and
so does Manera's pit crew, to be fair.
Yeah, indeed.
Actually, they're going around to pick up bits off the track, so there's a fair chance something's broken over this end, or they've picked up on something.
So 3 laps completed, except for Al Lister, who's got 4 according to the ELS. We don't know quite how that works, but no, there it's corrected itself. That's fine. So the 3NZ, that's of course the 3NZ Saloon, not Super Saloon, Willie Woodhouse. But
to be fair, on lap time, sometimes you.
Oh yeah, he's right up there with some of the slower Super Saloons. There's no doubt about it. It's a very, very quick saloon. Yeah. So about to go green. We restart the race, and Osborne's away. McManaway, of course, closed up on him now. Can he stay with him? The 86 of Mackay looking a bit low on the track there. The one of Dixon looking quite fast on the back of Mackay. Can he find a way past? Mackay will know he's there. Make it hard for him. Sloper could seize the opportunity here and drop in alongside. And there's Mackay just squeezing the race line out from Dixon. Dixon cuts to the inside, doesn't have the momentum to make it work on the outside. Mackay's just a little quicker and holds the place. Out front, there's no doubt about Osborne. He's away and gone like a robber's dog. But the 492 of McManaway holding a good second place. Great battle for third here. Mackay holding off Dixon. Soper's come in to join them as I predicted. And the 871 of Keegan's not too far behind either. Just behind them, a great battle between the 19 of Nartai and Richie Taylor in the CHS 58 car. But I think all eyes on third place at the moment. Can Dixon get past Mackay? Mackay's on the outside. He'll get a slingshot that Dixon won't. But Dixon's got position here and he takes it. He's into third place. Can Mackay come back at him? Or is the track starting to go from Mackay's setup? Bit of a logjam further back between Nartai and Taylor, who's lost a place to Fluffy Grocott. Behind him, 861 Ricky Bolton will be eyeing that and thinking, give an opportunity here. And the 4 car of Al Lister in the mix as well. Rest of the field strung out further behind. Some good racing between those guys, but it has to be said that the 16 car of Mark Osborne is not far off lapping his first car, and that's after 8 laps completed. So coming down the front straight there, 9 laps now for Mark Osborne in the 16 Stealth chassis. He's about to put one down on the 91N car. That's Russ from Nelson. He's got quite a logjam in front of him to try and navigate, with Shane Carey, the 3NZ of Willie Woodhouse, and the Rock Mr. Huddlestone in the 444 car there, and now he's got to do the work there. So your race leader is still the 16 car, working his way through the back markers. Second place car of McManaway now comes down onto the back of the 91, gets past him satisfactorily. Let's see if Dixon can do the same. Meanwhile, white flags come out because 11 laps have gone. That means just one to go. Down the back straight past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand for the last time. It's the 16 of Mark Osborne. He comes down the front straight, takes the race win. Second place, McManaway, and just on his tail, the 1NZ of Dixon.
As the balance of the field follow on through, looking at the lap times. Fastest car on the track, not a real big surprise out there. The 16R car, Mark Osborne. He did a 16.5. There's about 3 or 4 other cars that were doing 16.5s, but their next digit was a little bit further down the gap. So fairly consistent amongst the top 4. Overall, though, it's going to be interesting to see how the points tally up, because this is a teams race, and that's why you will have noticed a couple of times there they backed out of the challenges. In fact, at one point there, I think it was Richie Taylor backed out of it and let Fluffy slide on through just to get the points. He knew he couldn't get past Natali, so give Fluffy the opportunity to have a crack. Certainly some interesting contact there. I'm pretty confident Malcolm's brake lights weren't working a couple of times there, and Richie just completely misjudged it. But they'll laugh about it later and have a beer at the end of the night.
I'm sure they will, because they always do. All right, okay. That was the Super Saloon Teams event 2, brought to us by TL Parker. We're going to pay some bills, and we'll be back in a minute or two for stock cars.
Technical Welding Services Hamilton are specialists in the transit concrete mixer industry. From chassis drop-off to a full working concrete mixing, the team will take care of the job from start to finish. Full engineering services and general sheet metal work can also be undertaken. Need a quote? Call 07 847 2031 or visit our website www.techweld.nz. Technical Welding Services Hamilton, we are the experts.
As the third row will consist of the 136 of Tyler McPherson and Scott Tennant in the 808 car. It is 808.
I actually like the look of that.
Well, this is another one of the QTR chassis, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And so there's 2 of them in this race. There's the Levine car and Tennant. But of course, that is what Jamie Hemmy's moved to as well.
Exactly. So we'll see him out in his new toy.
And of course, Wayne's supposed to get the brand new version of all of those for the new Red Waka for next season. So of course, tonight's a little we'll get to talk about that when we get the super stocks. Anyway, we move to the next pairing on the track, and it is one of the lamp cars. I'm trying to think which one it is. The 992.
992.
With the arguably the best looking tank in New Zealand, or even second best. The 53 of Chris Wildley. So yes, and then we move back to the 4 car of Levine with the 47 car of Cameron Dench. Loveridge, the 16B, with the 991 of Harley Robb in the Unicorn. The car that's been talked about but never seen. So we've finally seen it. The 422 of Dylan Ashton is paired with the 36 of Dan McNally. The 772 car of Kyle Lamp is there with Wade Sweeting in the 151.
That's a good pairing.
Well, the next pairing's not too shabby
either.
Not too shabby either. The man who got caught up on Tuesday, the 41B car of Cameron Swift, very fast girl, and his partner is Brad Rosewarne, probably the man who at the moment is probably the fastest stock car here at Koken Woodford Glen.
And behind them, Ara Perry and the 2NZ. Is he with Daniel Cox?
He is 9. Now Daniel Cox,
he's been a mover this season.
He certainly is, and he's found a good turn of speed.
Yep.
The 13 car there of Jaden Nicol, he's paired, I believe, with the Kane McDonald in the 69W. There, we're getting out of shape here now. We've lost a few.
29P. That'll be Stu Rackham, is it?
It is, and then Kayla Mooney in the 26th, but they're not paired together.
I'd say it's Colin Cameron will be with, I'm just guessing here, Colin Cameron should be up with Rackham. And then the 66.
He's good though, he made the driver's briefing tonight. Poor Colin has been given absolute grief over that, and unfairly so, but anyway. The 66 we're picking is with Mooney, and then we go back to Arwa Johns in the 56 with Callum Sturzacker. The 43 of Sneaky Skur.
I think Sneaky Skur's with Sturzacker,
it could be, yes.
And then another pretty hot pairing right off the rear, the 4 and 5. Braden Lenton and it's Penn, yes, Regan Penn in the 5. So first deal for these guys.
Yeah, this is, and for some of these cars, I'm thinking of the likes of Cameron Dench, and I'm thinking of the likes of Maeve, just looking through there, Dan Cross, and possibly even Nickel as you go through the pack. This is the biggest field of stock cars they've run in all season.
And it's probably one of the biggest events, apart from a New Zealand title, that they'll run in.
This and so the field is packed, actually, even probably with the likes of Dave Parrott, because we have had such a fragmented start to the season, or fragmented season just in general. And we're all gridded. We're just going through. She's
going
bumping
through
a
the back
bumper.
ones.
Yeah.
Isn't it impressive?
It is. So we're going to be in the starters' hands. We'll see the X Factor crew car into the infield. We'll wait for the push car to move. Not a lot of gap if the back cars decide to push. We're in the starters' hands. We'll wait for the racing. And away we head away. It is Ellis who gets the best start out of all this. Into what? Road charging on there in the 79. The 2NZ of Ara Perry very slow off the mark, getting all sorts of tubings into turn 1. As we head down, we're into the sun now. Now we discover whether we put enough tape on the window for sunstrike. We've lost 2 out of all of that. We funnel through Enviro Waste. Cameron and Ara Perry on the infield, and Rowe has come through in the 79 to take the lead. McPherson's there in third. As we look further through, the 13 car spun it, and McPherson gives the 79 car a good wallop through the corner, unsettles it. Back into the hands of Ellis. They all head past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand. It is McPherson back to Tennant, Levine, and Harley Robb in the 991 coming through. Out in front though, still 1NZ. We're running 4 and 5 wide at the back end of this pack, and it is getting a little bit niggly in there. Just lots of little pushes and nudging. Tyler McPherson, he is doing what he can to catch the 1NZ, but there's a reason why he's 1NZ. And we've got a big four into the infield, and all the rescue crew get to wave, say hello. They'll untidy themselves. They'll go find their way back out to the track on the back straight. And unfortunately for them, that's going to done there, put them all a lap down. And McPherson's up the inside of Ellis. As he get him, he's going to hold him under Enviro Waste. He's going to just push him wide. But Ellis has just kept the momentum. So it's a good battle here. They're racing it out. It'll be interesting to see whether McPherson will turn to the bumper to make him make the ground. Levine sitting back there a little bit further. And then Rob with, is it going to be the 36 or the 808? As Mooney just giving Levine a bit of a hurry up. So the battle is on at the front here between the first and second place cars, but they're in those back markers, and this is where it gets a little. Now Ellis has gone out wide. Something's broken on the 1NZ.
Something's playing up on the 69W as well. He's just gone off.
So Ben has parked himself up by the wall. Ashton has spun and up and going at 2. So as we look down the far end of the track, geez, chaos. We've got Ben Ellis parked in the wall over at 2. He's off the race line, or well and truly off the race line.
Parrott's just been poked out to the wall in turn 4.
As we look for our race leader. 69 pulling back to the infield again.
4W would take over the lead, would he? Just come through.
He has. And Harley Robb's picked up 2 in the 991, so right on the heels of all of this. Then Dan McNally as we move further back through to Lamp and Loveridge. So Loveridge is making good moves through the pack at the moment, but the battle is between the 136 and the 4W. They come across the start front, we're going to go red.
That'll be for the 1NZ car. He had some sort of traction. Something must be locking up in the front. He tried getting it going again.
Well, it's like it's collapsed on one side the way he went out to the wall. It wasn't an aggressive hitting the wall, it just sort of went out there. But our race leader, it is the 4W car. And he's managed to pull a wee bit of a gap over the 991 of Rob and the 136 of McPherson.
9 car just pulling off, is he?
He is.
He is. So we're having a bit of a parking fest on the infield.
As is the 808 car. Mind you, we lost the 107 and the 2NZ
early
straight off the line. Both those cars, of course, were in the Canterbury Crushers in Wellington a few weeks ago.
So we've got Tennant on the infield, we've got the 69W, Swift in the 41B's parked on the infield as well.
Yeah, he was part of that 4 or 5 car wide pile up that drove in and sort of decided to have a picnic. Our race leaders are down at turn 1. And back at the pit gates, our second and third place cars. We're back in the starters' hands. The revs build and we're away and racing. As Levine leads us round. Harley Robb moves through on the 136. Dench is about to get all crossed up in front of the 992. McNally, they're holding good speed there as we head past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand. On the front straight we come. It is Levine across the start-finish line, back to Robb and McPherson. Not a lot's changing at that end. They are just trying to race this one out. Not a lot of pushing and shoving mid-pack. Of course, it is a pairs. It is about getting points and surviving. So just getting those cars across the line. And there's a whole lot on the infield that have made it really difficult for themselves. As Levine clocks up another lap, Robb, McPherson, nothing's changing in that 1, 2, 3. Levine just gets a little out of shape. He pulled it back in. It's almost like he doesn't really want to get into the back markers too much, but I've got a funny feeling the speed that Harley Robb's coming in at, he's not going to have too much of a choice shortly. He's going to have to start making some passes with these cars. Levine goes low. Looks to the inside of Parrott. Harry just head past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand. Down to Enviro Waste. Harley Robb is gaining and he's coming in quick. He's picked up about 2 or 3 car lengths just going into the entry of Enviro Waste. Starting to get into these markers now. McPherson looks to the inside of Parrott. Parrott's just opened the door for McPherson. McPherson's just going to clip him. No, he's unsettled himself. So our race leader on the back of the 422 car, and Harley Robb's pulled in within about 2 car lengths of our race leader. Levine will go through, clock down another lap.
Bit of a dust up over on the back straight there.
It is, and Sturzak will climb over the top of Lamp. And Levine spun to the infield, so the race lead has actually been handed over to Harley Robb in the midst of all of that. And sensing here that McPherson knows that he's just got to hang in here. It looked like Parrott was having a little look at the back of Robb, so Harley Robb's our race leader. Now the two ends
just gives him a bit of bumper as they come out of 2.
2 NZ of Perry on the infield started rolling. He's gone and seen the flag. He knows it's about getting points. Robb goes up the inside of Sturzaker, pushes Dench wide. The checker is out for the 991 of Harley Robb. Back to the 136. And I'm picking, it's going to be, we'll have to go to the Ellis for this one. It'll be Loveridge by the looks of it for third. And if you look on the infield there, Perry just circling around. He's going to come through and clock up. So I'd say that he's got something relatively minor, but enough to bring the team.
Register some points. It's over 2 nights, yeah?
Yeah.
So if you can get points in this one, even if it's last place, you've still gained something. Looking at some of the movers there, Penn in the 5B got up to 12th. Braden Lennon, his partner, got up to 7th. Those 2 guys started right off the rear. So they moved up a bit. Admittingly, don't get me wrong, there's half a dozen or so that were parked on the infield, but that's good spots out of 32.
Well, all those cars that parked on the infield meant the guys at the back didn't have to pass them.
Exactly,
so
it's free passes.
It's free passes. It makes the night a little bit easier. However, it is 6 races of consistency, and that, you know, when you struggle to finish 3 races in one night, it makes it a hard night. But when you struggle to do 6 and 2, it's going to be.
And bearing in mind, a couple of these guys are doubling up. They're jumping out of these and straight into their super stocks for their first heat. So, mate, they're going to do some laps and some miles by the time this weekend's over.
Yeah, it sort of used to be a novelty, and now it's sort of becoming the done thing. Is you have a super stock and a super saloon, and a super saloon, but no Malcolm, sorry, and a stock car. So. Yeah, but of course, if you look at the age of them, Ivan, you can take a couple of them, add them together, and you're still not going to get to either your age or mine.
No, definitely not. There's some young fellas out there now, and they're quality drivers too. You know, they've rocked up quality gear, quality drivers. So we'll see how many of them get repaired. Hopefully, Ben Ellis in the 1NZ coming in on the tractor. Hopefully, it's just either a drive shaft or a diff or an axle. But the left rear wheel was turning when he was trying to get going again. So
one's assuming it's going to be an axle or a diff nugget or something simple like that. They're going to the 41 car on the infield. They're lifting the front end of that as we head back down to the pits with Bianca.
Hey, so I am down pit side with Jaden Ward. Jaden, you're just getting ready to go out there. Did you actually see that race?
Yeah, I went up there and watched them going good. It was good.
Not what I expected to see so many cars on the infield, though.
Yeah, a lot of big names out there on the infield. 1NZ, 2NZ, Scott Tennant from Auckland, you know, that's opened it right up already.
Absolutely. How's the track looking tonight, Jaden? You ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready. It's looking like it's starting to slick off already, so we'll be in for a tight night, which is what I like anyway, so bring it on. Love it.
Absolutely. So tell me just very quickly while we're waiting for all these cars to come and go, do you prefer the track when it is slicked off or you like a little bit more grip?
Well, it's more fun when there's more grip out there, but I like it when it slicks, as this car setup it's preferred to my style, you know. I love it when it goes slick, so yeah, I'd prefer it go slick, to be honest, yeah.
And who are you partnered with tonight, Jaden?
9B of Adam Groom from Hawke's Bay, so very good partner.
Absolutely. I was actually speaking to him off air before. He's really pumped for this as well, isn't he? So you guys are probably a good team to watch.
Yeah, well, I think the last 2 years he's been there or thereabouts, you know, just off the podium, so hopefully we can stick together good and string along all the races together and be at the pointy end by the end of the weekend, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's over 6 races over the 2 nights. So like our commentators just said, it doesn't matter if you finish last, it's just about accumulating those points. Yeah,
well, like you've seen in the past, it's all about finishing races, really. You know, there's 6, maybe 7 races if you make the top 10. So if you're finishing races, you're banking points. So that's really what it comes down to. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, wish you and your partner all the best. Congratulations on a really, really good partner. I think you guys are a team to watch.
Yeah, thank you very much, and hopefully we're right on that top step.
Yeah, awesome. Well done. Thanks, Jaden. Cheers.
As our youth mini stocks head out, Tony, sort of musical headphones up here tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit of toing and froing with the stadium PA system and the stream. Of course, we do love the fact that we're streaming out tonight to not just around New Zealand but to the world. And if you're watching the stream tonight, courtesy of the Pits TV or Flow Racing, we would love for you to like the Woodford Glen Facebook page and give us a comment. Tell us where you're from. We're going to go down to the pits for Harley Rob.
Hey, just really quickly, I'm joined by Harley Rob. What a win. Well done to open your weekend.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, first time running the brand new car here as well, so pick a win up straight out of the hat. It's real good. Yep.
And now, of course, you've got to do it again and jump straight back into the super stock.
Yeah, I think we get one race between, so we just quickly rush everything over here and yeah, we get ready for this one.
And do you know where your partner finished?
I'm not too sure on that one, no.
I'll tell you what, I'll see if we can find out for you and we'll get back to you. Well done, Harley.
Awesome, cheers.
Harley Rob, busy boy tonight, as you say, one of those doing double duty across 2 different grades.
It certainly is, and of course here's the future of our stock cars and super stocks, and certainly when you go through some of the surnames, there's a fair indication that 1 or 2 of them are going to be heading in that direction in a few years to come. As we start upon our youth mini stocks this evening, now they are running a championship too, aren't they, Tony?
Yeah, courtesy of Suck It Up, and we can't mention Suck It Up enough, really, because they're sponsoring the whole deal tonight, the Battle of the Stocks for both super stocks and stock cars, but they're also sponsoring the Youth Mini Stock Challenge tonight.
We'll get to watch here past the value cars at the Warehouse Grandstand. You've just noticed, Tony, the sunstrike on the side of these cars as they head down. So that is something we are getting to this part of the evening. As you turn into turn 3, very easy to make a mistake and nudge the car in front. And we are away on racing, sort of almost caught them, I wouldn't say napping, but they let them go. Cooper leads us in, Ogle to the outside, Caelan Keith looking to go through. Higgins is making the move on the outside, and the Brucknell machine looking on for the outside of the 41. But Ogle down the outside gets the run. And with the painted white walls on it, it just seems like it's going a little bit quicker. Again, gets caught out by the turn 3 and 4 just as you come off it. You don't realise just how much it tightens up on the exit. The 46 car down into turns 1 and 2 in the lead, back to Cooper. The 97 of McSweeney's there, as is Keith. The 13 car of Cody Ogle's making moves through. So trying to join his brother at the front. Runs to the outside line and carries awesome momentum around the outside of Cooper. We're all keeping it seemingly tidy. McSweeney's just got the front bumper into stock car mode, just giving the 46 car the hurry up down the front straight.
Keep an eye on that 16 of Ashton Osborne. It's absolutely slicing through the field.
But the interesting thing here is Ogle has control of the road as McSweeney goes up the inside. But the 13 car of Cody Ogle seems to run through 3 and 4 that little bit quicker than everyone else at the moment, and he's up the inside of the 46 car. And they'll come around the outside of Elliott at the moment. First of the back markers, the 27 car. And the 97's got through. Bit of smoke coming off the 77 car of Robbie Edgeworth. but as we prefer to call that, that is just lightening the load on the engine. It is, as we clock down another lap, it is the 97 McSweeney back to Ogle, and I think I'm trying to figure out whether the 13 car was cleaning his visor or suggesting to his brother to go to the inside of him.
12 spun out there and is pulled to the infield. Bit of awesome flames underneath there.
You'd love this is where we might start making jokes about running a E85 or methanol, isn't it? Anyway, we're out the front. It is the 97 McSweeney. Then back to the Ogle clan. Keith with Brucknell, Cooper, Edgeworth, Horton and Higgins. Really is not much of a battle at the front here as the 97 cars just pin the ears back and run away with it. And the Ogles have kept together pretty much in this race. Osborne, as we look further back through the pack and heading through Envirowaste, has gone to the outside of the 18 car. Oh,
no room there.
The 93 car just slammed the wall by itself coming off turn 4. And Osborne's using the front bumper on the 18. So it is certainly, you can start to see a little bit of fidgetiness just coming out in one or two of these drivers, just getting a little touchy. Of course, not uncommon to see them give a little bit of a nudge to each other. As we just watch the pack head through the 18 and 18 cars, how are we coming together? And Osborne looks to duck up the inside, ironically, of the 18 car. And no, it's through on Higgins. Out in front, though, our race leader is still McSweeney. And the 46 Ogle car of Regan Ogle has pulled a wee bit of track back. And McSweeney's gone wide here. Here's the chance. The 46 goes to the inside. They're running about the same speed, but who's going to be the bravest? And is Elliott going to be part of the mix here? Ogle goes to the inside of the 27, and it might have just worked. He's just going to avoid Emily Meehan, who's a little bit wobbly. Gets a little bit of a nudge there from the 46, and the 97 is going to come screaming up the inside and just push her wide into the 46.
Good battle.
And it is on here. So down in Envirowaste, we head past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand for the final time. McSweeney goes in. It is a couple of back markers there. We swerve to the inside, and it will be the 97 followed by the 46. Third on the track out of all of that will be Caelan Keith, followed by Jacob Brucknell and the 13 of Cody Ogle. So, however, what we say is provisional.
Very provisional and subject to change, particularly in this grade. But yeah, McSweeney and Ogle, a good battle between those two, swapping places there on the last couple of laps a couple of times. And fastest lap at the end of the race was McSweeney with a 21.99, but the fastest overall was Ashton Osborne with a 21.94. So just a few hundredths in it, but Osborne the quickest out there, and he certainly made his way through. Finished in 7th place, having started, I think, on the last row of the grid. So that was a pretty impressive drive from Ashton Osborne.
Yeah, as we got to sort of that mid-pack, we started to see a few little bit of the Morse coding. As the head around, they've given they're just going to give the checkered flag to the 97 car. He'll head round, and where are we headed, Tony? I'm looking all lost.
We're going to play a quick ad and be back shortly.
Mic check. Hey, so I'm joined pit side with Tyler McPherson. Of course, you just got second in that race. Well done, home track. Good accumulative point.
Yeah, thank you. It was quite an interesting race. Pretty fun, that's for sure.
And unfortunately, your partner had a DNF, so of course you've got to go hard in the next couple of races.
Oh, we'll make do with what we can. We're both in it, so we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. So how did you find the track out there, Tyler?
It started slicking off. The car was losing a little bit of drive out of corners, so do a little couple of alterations and we'll make do with how the track turns out.
And of course, I seen you get your little notebook out and come down and look at the tyre pressure, so might be just a few little adjustments with that.
Yeah, a couple of minor tweaks here and there, and it should be good.
Awesome. Well, we wish you all the best. You've got to go hard now. I mean, no pressure or anything, Tyler, but having a DNF, you've got to try and qualify for tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be sweet. Thank you.
Awesome. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Brittany Carpenter, driver of 85 GM, based out of Greymouth. I use wholesale tyres, coloured chrome rims on my car. If you're looking for something unique and different on your car, contact Wholesale Tyres to get these coloured rims. Or get a hold of them on Facebook at Wholesale Tyres, or go onto their website, which is www.wholesaletyres.net.nz. See you trackside.
Need coloured chrome rims? Wholesale Tyres. Good rims, better prices, great people.
So big thank you to Garage 16 Media for sponsoring New Zealand Modified Title. As I said, it's here in 2 weeks' time. You can book your seats and pre-purchase your tickets off the woodfordglen.co.nz website, and keep an eye on our Woodford Glen Facebook page for more information on that too. So the car's going round into the sunshine on the back straight there. The last rays of the evening sun here at Koken Woodford Glen in the town of Kaiapoi, just north of Christchurch. And as they go through 3 and 4, we get into the shady side of the track as they come down into the cooler, shady side on the front straight. Fix a little bit the moisture balance on the track here. The front straight tends to hold its moisture a little better because it gets more shade for more of the day. And then they come out through 1 and 2, and coming out of turn 2 they're back into the sunshine again. The front of the field's the 49 of Kevin Bann, the 11 car there, Cassandra Massey, tucked in behind the 4 of Mike Goulet, the 69 of Andrew Naven, and then we go back to the 9 of Lennon and the 22 of him. Right, and away we go, and the 49 of Kevin Bann takes the green, and the 69 of Naven is in second place there. The 4 of Mike Goulet, the 9 of Lennon holding on to 4th place at the moment, but looking particularly racy. The 4 of Goulet in second place there, lifting the front wheels quite spectacularly. And here comes Lennon coming through past Naven. We go back to the 5th place car of Godwin. I don't know what's happened to the 24 of Dan Ray. He's circulating at the back of the field. Something else is definitely broken, I think, on that machine. Either that or he's...
could just possibly be running it in.
He's probably running something in, maybe. Terribly, terribly slow pace, but everyone else knows he's there and knows he's doing that and just circulates around him. The 22 car, which of course is Hayden Corbett, I don't know how I forgot that earlier, has pulled to the infield. And coming down to go past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand and into 3 and 4, it's a big battle between Bann and Goulet. Goulet's taken the block out from under the accelerator, decided he needs to get on with it. The track's come to meet the car, and he's now got a turn of speed that he didn't have in those first few laps. And he's got to the lead. Kevin Bann piloting that 49 car very carefully around the turns. Gary Lennon just a tad less careful, throwing it in a little bit more, and closing on the back of Bann, looking to snaffle that second place as soon as he can. Quite a distance back to the 69 of Naven, who's holding off the 99 of Godwin, and then we go back to Ian White, uncharacteristically quiet tonight in the 32 car. Near the back of the field, Massey in the 11 car, and we've got the 10 of Nathan Astle holding off the 24 of Dan Ray. Again, I think Astle just bedding in that new motor, repaired motor we should say. So that's, well, we don't know how many laps down because the ELS is down, but it's quite a few for Mike Goulet, and he's coming through turns 3 and 4 at the moment, about to get on the back, first of the back markers. That's the 13 car of Evan Nicol. He scythes past him through turn 1, gets the hook up and drive out of turn 2, and he's well ahead of Gary Lennon in the 9 car, who's holding on to a good second place at the moment. He's got ahead of Kevin Bann, who is just hasn't quite got what it takes to stay with Lennon.
Got one spun over at 2, the 99 car.
Godwin spun up there on turn 2. So just as we went white, we went yellow. Make of that what you will.
So I think they're going to put the checker out on that one. Yep. Call it on that. We're not racing for the ranch tonight.
No point in taking up a whole lot of meeting time when we've got other grades that are the star grades tonight. They got a pretty fair suck of the saff there. Sack of the saff? Suck of the... whatever. They did well. They had a pretty good race until the very last lap.
Oh, we're so professional, Tony.
Oh, we are. Look, you know, well, it's inspiring working with the Pits TV crew, isn't it? You know, they just inspire you to new heights.
We're almost at the same standard as Jason. Anyway, as we look to the pit shoot, although those at home are watching the bit of modified racing there between Gary Lennon and Kevin Bann, it's super stocks coming out next.
Absolutely, and who doesn't like super stocks? Well, if you don't, you shouldn't be here tonight, right? Go away and come back in 2 weeks.
I'm pretty confident there's a whole bunch of people.
I think everyone out there loves their super stocks. We all do. The sound of 32 super stocks. It's actually 33 because of Fieldsy being off the back of the actual field. So 33 super stocks revved up and tearing off the line at the start of this first race is like nothing you will hear anywhere else in the country anytime, ever.
Some truly interesting pairings. It's going to be very, very interesting. Front row is going to be Sauce 557.
And our ELS is actually working, so that's going to help us out.
And Thomas Stanaway is going to be with him. Now, I had a wee look at Thomas's car, and you can't speak highly enough of the presentation underneath the bodywork of that car.
Oh, exactly.
Beautiful bit of kit.
But like you have a look at any one of these cars, any one of them, beautiful bits of kit, and they've got the best of gear, and you know.
It's just, to me there's something special about the way the Stanaway sort of put the cars together, even just brake bias and bits and pieces, just the way it's all plumbed. But then we move back to the next row. It is the engine man himself, Chad Ace, the 4B car, and he is paired with the 41 of Malcolm Reed. And then we have the 85 car, the Tom Cooper, doing this a couple of seasons now. He's got himself into some big fields of racing over the last year or two. If we chase a fly across our screen, that's going to lose us novelty. I doubt we're going to punch the window in a second. And the 5W car of Keegan Levine. Malcolm Nartai there, waiting for his partner, the 591 of Wayne Hemi, to join him. And Cam Godfrey, isn't this a baptism of fire? He's done about 8 or 9 club meetings here.
He goes into a meeting where the field is as good as a Superstock Finals night, New Zealand title.
To be fair, he's got the car for it. I mean,
exactly.
I'm not sure whether it was Malcolm's car from last year or Jaden's car from last year, but it's certainly a good bit of kit.
Yep.
Now there is super stocks. There's at least one super stock in the pits and one stock car in the pits that are standby drivers for Battle of the Stocks.
Yeah, they're reserves. So it's a big effort for these guys to come down, and last thing you want is somebody to have an engine blow up in the first heat and lose a partner. So we have reserves on standby to help them out, and they're just sorting out something on the track there. One of the guys, Phil Ogles, looks like he spotted something and just pointing it out.
Scott Joblin will join in with the 99 of Crash. 46 Levine to the inside of him. It is the 24 car of Zach West. Now my eyesight's doing the Steiner's in there with
Alex Hill, is it? 95?
It is.
Yep.
And then we move back to
Adam Broom, and I'm just trying to see who's...
Harley,
is it, I think? So if you've got young children, cover their ears. Off the start line, these are noisy.
and we're going to get lots
We're going to go green in a minute. First heat of the Battle of the Stocks at Whirlwind Racing. Into turn 1, Sauce, 557. He's up the inside. The big turn 1 push. Who's getting pushed out wide? 571, Jamie Hemi. We've got West and Harley, Jaden Ward in the back having a bit of a tangle up. Harley, Rob, he's gone in. Who's gone over? That is Levine.
It's Levine.
Levine, 5W.
He just got into the rough stuff. It dug in, bicycled, and these things don't bicycle well. Or stop well, judging by the way that they came to.
5W. It is upside down.
Yeah, it was a nothing roll. Joblin got on the brakes and actually stopped anybody from hitting him. I thought that was Jennings, to be honest, the way everybody went in, and Levine's car just unsettled, unloaded, bicycled, and whoop, over she went.
It was just one of those incidents where they went into the corner, there was a big melee. Harley Rob actually went in quite hot down low and pushed up a wee bit wide. But when you've got 32 of these beasts ploughing into turn 3,
we are trying to run 4 and 5 wide down the front straight here, which is going to make it interesting. But interesting, you watch the pack funnel into turn 1 on the pole line, but they all ended up out at the wall by turn 2. As we look to the front, it is Stanaway in the lead, albeit completing one lap back to Wallace and the 4 car of Ace with Nartai in there. As they look to roll the Levine over, nothing too major there other than a flat wing. as we're going to head to a replay by the looks of it. The pack funneling down past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand, down in there, a little bit of dust kicked up. And now Levina's on that high line. There he goes over, just nothing in it.
It was just 3 wide going into there. Levine was up on the high side. As they come down, you'll see it from this angle here. Levine's up high as they go in. Harley Rob's gone in too hot up the inside of Hemi, is it? And he's just pushed him out and just caught that corner. And thanks for coming.
Yeah, a wee bit of pole line in there though, to be fair. Well.
Yeah, there was. Just looking at the replay. Yep. Too hot.
Way too hot. Wow, just
pushed
overdriving.
Wayne Henry out wide, and it just pushed Levine up high as well. There's the end result. Check the tyre pressures from the upside.
To be fair, very few people ever go underneath Wayne Henry on the pole line.
No, but it's over 6 heats.
As we just look down at turn 2, almost entry turn 2. Our race leader, it is the 87.
And we're away at racing. Off the start, who's going to get a flyer? Stanaway gets away. Daryl Wallace is a wee bit slow off the start. Got a bit of bumper from Chad Ace. Malcolm Nartai's right in behind them. Then we go back to Godfrey. Here comes Harley Rob up the inside of Godfrey. And behind them we've got Malcolm Reed. So they come past us. We've got Stanaway, Ace, Nartai, Wallace. We go to Rob, Reed, Wayne Hemi, Godfrey, Phil Ogle, Lloyd Jennings. Then we go back to Ethan Levine. On his outside, Tom Cooper. Then we go back to Trevor Lyman, Jordan Deere, Alex Hill. On the outside, Simon Joplin, Kendall Ashton. And then we go back to the 46 of Quinn Ryan and just put the bumper in there. Hill's half spun round as they come out of 3 and 4. Eulenberg, he's up against the wall. Brett Nichols is coming through. And Mackenzie. Then we go back to Bryce Steiner. Groom in the 9 car. Brett Nichols is up by the wall as they come out of turn 2. Groom's gone up the inside. West, Hearn, Keats, Jamie Hemi in his new car. The 52 of Scott Joplin pulls to the infield. Wallace is sideways. Lloyd Jennings gets turned round. Groom just gets into the back of him. So they're all bouncing off each other. West has just stopped. He's trying to get it going again.
Down the far end there.
Down the far end. I'm just watching them here. There's gone red and there's guys bouncing off cars. At the speeds that these guys are going, it's just so hard to pull up.
Yeah, the 85 power and the 34 or the 24, they're just neither of them wanting to get moving.
So these guys are getting a nice welcome to the Battle of the Stocks.
And Brett Nichols down the far end here, it turned Hearn round, and Hearn had done the typical street stop move of clutching it and rolling back with him, so Nichols got himself stuck into the wall. So I've told the 79 to turn around.
Turn around.
And just, so I'm not sure who the red light was for.
Well, Cooper was stopped up by the wall. West was stopped in the middle of the turn 2. He looks like, obviously he's all right. He was looking down. We'll have a look at a replay now.
Jennings went round.
Cooper
just ploughed in. And then, it was just 20. Eulenberg tried to avoid both of them. And it was Groom just clobbered the back of the 85. And then the Onyx car there gives him another wee wallop for his efforts. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see a little bit of fireworks between the 24, 34 and 85 this week, bearing in mind.
Bryce Steiner out of Nelson, the 118 car.
He's even waving. It's almost like he
must he knows he's on TV.
Either you've got a whole bunch of you guys lying to me, or we've got a major failing in technologies.
Righto, as the Reds come in, and we're away and racing. So, let's find our leader, Harley Rob, and the 99, well, it was Harley Rob. Wayne Hemi's just taken over that spot. No, sorry, I'm telling lies. That's 87 Thomas Stanton.
Oh, Godfrey hit the wall hard.
No, I can't tell you who's. I think it's still Stanaway in the lead at this stage.
Yep.
I'll call it as we said on the track. I won't rely on the ELS. Stanaway. Then we go back to Chad Ace. Malcolm Nartai. Then we've got Wayne Hemi. And behind Hemi we've got Harley Rob, Phil Ogle. We go back to Lynham, Ward, Quinn Ryan, Ethan Levine, Joplin, Jordan Deere, Daryl Wallace. We go back to Kendall Ashton. Then we have Simon Joplin, Malcolm Reed in the 41 car. Then we go back to Blair Eulenberg, Peter Fields, then Godfrey, Brett Nichols, Then we go back to Jamie Hemme. Adam Groom's up the wall. He's back down off it again. And Mackenzie's got smoke. He's pulling back down on the back straight there. Not the ideal spot to park up if he can. He's got a fair bit of smoke coming out of that car or steam. But he's going to park up in the middle of the back straight. By the look of it, he can't get down. I'm picking we're probably going to go red very shortly with that car sitting there. And we do.
Yeah, he got an absolute wallop from Stanaway, and then Stanaway gave Groom an absolute wallop as well. So a former clubmate and a current clubmate that Stanaway gave a little bit of a tickle to.
So they're not racing as clubmates tonight. They're paired up and they're...
But that was, Adam Groom over at turn 2 was given just a big side slap there by Stanaway and fired him into the wall. So he's now limping up. Yeah,
so our race leader, Stanaway. We've got thumbs down, Godfrey, is it? Waving his arms out the window. Coming out turn 4 there. Just up on the outside there. He's obviously, as you say, hit the wall pretty hard. Malcolm Reed's just getting pushed back a bit.
He's doing well to back a super...
Full song.
Backing a super stock's not fun on a good day.
No.
And is it Jamie Hemme's pulling to the infield as well?
Debuting the new car for Jamie. Interesting to see what he thinks of it.
Wow, certainly going to be a lot different than the tank, I've got to give him that. Race leaders down there out of Enviro Waste beside Peter Fields and between Peter Fields and Nigel Keats. And Godfrey he got funneled into the turn 4 wall.
So they're just bringing Eulenberg back and parking him beside Malcolm Reed, are they? Now which car is that Eulenberg's driving? Is he?
That's the Linton.
The Linton?
It is the Linton, it's not the Kruger.
Not the Kruger.
Kruger, you can tell the difference because the Kruger one's got all the panels to hide all the secrets.
Yep.
Which are VW torsioned.
So hopefully we're just about sorted. Red flag, Brian brings it in. We're about to go green. And we're away and racing again. Let's pick up our leader, Thomas Stanaway in the 87B. He's gone past us. Then we go back to Chad Ace. And behind Ace, we've got the 19 of Nartai. Then we'll pick up Wayne Hemme. He's our next one on the pace. And behind Hemme is Harley Robb. Then we go back to Phil Ogle, Jaden Ward, and Trevor Lynham. Up the inside of Ward, Quinn Ryan in the 46B car. Then we go back to Wallace. But our leader's gone past us again. Ethan Levine on the outside of Jordan Deere as they come out of turn 4. They're 4 wide. 2 Joblins, 62 and 72. Simon, he's just sitting in behind his brother. And behind them, Kendall Ashton. Then we go back to Eulenberg, Brent Nichols. But our race leader, he's clocked another lap off. We're on lap 12. Then we go back to the Chad Ace. And behind Ace, we've got Malcolm Nartai. Then we've got a couple of lap cars of Nigel Keats and Ben Hearn. And behind them, Wayne Hemme sitting in that 4th spot. Then we go back to Harley Robb, Phil Ogle. Quinn Ryan's got past the 99. Lyman just gives him a bit of bumper, knocks him off line. Who's going to open up the door there? Ryan goes up high. Lyman still takes that spot. Is Quinn going to return the favour? No, he's just going to shoot up the inside because Lynham's overcooked it. Jaden Moore's just sitting in there watching this, as is Ethan Levine. White flag this time round for 87. Thomas Stanaway. Lap car of Lloyd Jennings in between him and Chad Ace. And we go back to Malcolm Nartai. The 52 car of Scott Joblin's come out. He's going to pick up some points. Wayne Hemme. Then we go back to Harley Robb. Phil Ogle. But our race winner in the first heat, 87, Thomas Stanaway. He'll take it away over the 4P of Chad Ace. Then we go back to the suck-it up car of Malcolm Nartai. And behind Nartai we have the Master Blaster, Wayne Hemme. And behind Hemme will be picking up Harley Robb in the 991. Then it will be Phil Ogle. And behind Ogle will be the 46 of Quinn Ryan. And then behind Ryan will be picking up Trevor Lynham, Jaden Ward, Jordan Deere, Ethan Levine. That's your top 15. Jared.
Absolutely rocket ship with the 87B car. The ELS has just jumped up, so I can't see the fastest lap times that he did, but I do believe that the 87 car was the fastest car on the track throughout that. A lot of cars there clocking the 19.1 second laps. That is super quick in one of these.
That's fast.
And I think just really interesting, once we sort of do the wash up and good grief, but there's a brake pad or something just fell off the 99 car. It's sitting on the front track, front of the straight here smoking. once you do the clean-up here and see which pairings have been adversely affected, this could be very interesting heading towards the shootout tomorrow night.
Well, you'd have to say, at this stage, after just one heat, Hemi and Natai, third and fourth.
Yeah, and if I'm to be a little bit cynical here, of course, that shootout works where you can have pole or run off the back.
Yep.
And there's a cash benefit to that. And I think there's a lot of egos on that track.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think there's a few guys that could actually do it. We've seen it done before, but not without a little bit of assistance along the way.
Yep.
But it's going to make for a very interesting shootout. That was fast, and I guess the bit that I'm sort of looking at and wondering is just, I'm wondering who's going off the end.
It's action for the whole family. With 23 tracks around New Zealand, there is no better way to spend your weekends than at a Speedway New Zealand track.
Here they come to the start-finish line again.
There's something for the whole family. Sprint cars, saloons, stock cars, sidecars, midgets, and much, much more. Pack up the family and make a trip to adrenaline-filled, action-packed bashes and crashes that only Speedway can deliver. Visit www.speedway.co.nz to find out the track nearest to you. Speedway, it's our summer thing.
A few of these cars have had a hard season. And it's also cool to see the old VK Commodore there, the 66 of Cox out there. Not the fastest car at all.
Not a genuine VK?
I think it'll be a V8 actually.
V8.
We're not going to go too modern in the Commodore specs. Anyway, we're in the starter's hands. Here we go. Unleash the power. And quite a contrast to the last race. But we are going to try and go 3 and 4 wide. The 99 car, the scrap man of Nick Fraser, he looks to dive up the inside. He's into third, and we're going to go these two Commodores in the front when they start getting a bit waving their tails at you. As Fraser goes up the inside, does it under brakes. Now he's got to get past Phileas. And Phileas is just holding that nice tight line. That performance smoke coming off the 21 car heading down the front straight. And Fraser, the scrapman Honda, looks to the outside of the Tree Medic Commodore.
He's going to take the high line, see if he can get it through, but the taxi's going to be super wide.
Boy, and you don't often see a Honda slide out sideways. He tried the high line, and the Commodore just got the better of it. Of course, it is a little greasy. I won't say greasy out there, it is slick. And they had a little scuff of water. Go back to Andrew Bennett, then the 66 of Cox. And Fairburn is looking to make a move here on on Gordon, down into EnviroWaste. Race leader clocks up another lap. We are... I'm not even going to look at the LS, I'm not trusting it anymore. It says we've done one lap, but I'm pretty...
We've done about 3, I think, 3 or 4.
Oh dear, something's wrong with the matrix there, Neo. Anyway, it is on the brakes, and you've just looked at the way Phileas is controlling this. He dives in, just stood on the brakes, pulls it right up, drives the corner, and of course the Commodore is a wee bit talkier in a straight line. The Honda here up the inside, but that's a big wide car when Phileas wants to close.
You're not going to get up there. You're going to have to go around the outside.
The irony of all of this is the Phileas name has always been associated, or was associated with Hondas for so long, particularly through his father Jerry and then David before he went to A grades and then back to productions. And keeping it nice and clean and tidy, but Phileas is not giving Fraser any room.
Nah.
Fraser's looking up the inside. He's
I think
definitely
you're wasting your time.
Oh no, he's going to give him some Morse code, nudge him in the door panel.
And I'll just come back down.
Well, the other thing is we have seen it when he swings the tail back. It's a bit like an angry fish. Give you a big slap, marlin fires you back out to the wall. We're not racing for the ranch.
Oh, 1NZ's just half turned himself round.
I'd say doing that, he's broken a half shaft or something, the way it's done that. So it is Phileas getting the white flag. He's going to feel like he earned it. Nick Fraser's going to be pretty happy with it though. He's done everything he can. And the 16 car's trying to decide which way to go on the 1NZ. It's going to the infield. As we head past the Value Cars Warehouse Grandstand into EnviroWaste, it is the 86 car of David Phileas. And he can wave to the crowd with the tail of the car. No, he's going to keep it straight. Back to the scrapman of 99 of Nick Fraser. And Andrew Bennett's in the 5 car. And I'd say they'll give each other a thumbs up because they did that one nicely. A little nudge midway through the race, but nothing to get too upset about.
Looking at the lap times there, if the Ellis is correct, what have we got? A 20.75 for Sherlock in lap 5 and a 20.79 for Clark. So
okay, we're actually going to be disappearing away for a minute. We're going to have the guys are playing with the system.
So we're going to shoot away.
So I'm here with Thomas Stanaway and Darren Wallace. So Thomas, you've won that race. We're still waiting for results for you though, Darren, but we think you came in maybe 10th or 11th, is that right?
Yeah. Thomas carried us for the first race, so let's hope we can just move forward in the next couple and gain some good points.
Absolutely. Now, you both came away with no damage. You're both pretty relaxed, so you're good to go for race 2?
Yeah, we're all good to go for race 2. It's just going to be a long night, but track's pretty challenging, but hey, we had a pretty clean start in that one and managed to get away, so we'll just try to do the same again in the next 2, and anything can happen, of course, but yeah, definitely, happy with the first one anyway.
Absolutely. So, Thomas, when you say the track's a little bit challenging, tell us what you mean.
There's quite a few big holes out there, and then when it's where there's no holes, it's quite slick. So, kind of a bit of both worlds. But hey, it's the same for everyone. So, just got to adapt to it and go hard. Yeah, really.
And of course, Darren, this is your home track. So, did you find it as challenging as what Thomas did?
Yeah, same for me too. Like in the middle of turn 1 and 2, there it was real slick and a lot of wheel spin. And if you're trying to drive it out wider, it was a lot rougher. So it was a bit motocrossy on the outside there. So yeah, it is what it is. It's all the same for everyone. So we'll just go out and do what we can.
Do you guys know where you're starting on the grid on your second race?
Somewhere in the middle, I think. Hey, yeah, middle then back. So. Yeah. Okay,
well, wish you luck. Thanks for telling us the secrets about the tracks at the minute. I wonder if anyone else is listening. Hopefully not, eh? We'll just keep that to ourselves. Awesome. All right, good luck for the rest of the weekend. Cheers, guys.
So back here at Koken Tools Woodford Glen with the Super Saloons up for their second round of the night. The Super Saloon teams. This race brought to us by Fairview, exceptional windows and doors.
So whether they're driving, it doesn't matter what they're driving, these two guys are brilliant drivers.
So let's see what happens into turn 1 as we go racing second heat of the Super Saloons, and it's Mark Osborne gets the jump on Dixon and Soper trying to go with him, but Soper hasn't got anything like the car that Mark's got there. He drops right back mid-pack, and Malcolm Natai in the 19 car's taken advantage, as is Fluffy Grocott. Look at the 86 of Mackay come through as well, and it's a great battle at the front. 16 Mark Osborne, 1 Peter Dixon, the 492 of Campbell McManaway, keeping these guys honest. Any mistake and he's going to pounce. Malcolm Natai coming into 4th place there, just ahead of Mark Grocott in the 73, who comes in very hot on turn 3. Hayden Mackay battling with the 861 of Ricky Bolton, who's got past him up the inside, and I have a feeling Richie Taylor's going to try and do the same thing. Keegan in the 871 car looking very racy there, and the 76 of Paul Berg trying to hold on the back of him. But out front, about to complete another lap. That'll be 3 down for Pete Dixon in the 1NZ machine. It leans over alarmingly.
Something's wrong with the 16 car. Something's big wrong. He's backing out of it.
He's backing out of it, yep. The 1NZ car leans alarmingly as it goes through the turns, but the outcome of that is it's got terrific rear end grip through the turns, and he's able to put the power down and keep driving the car. You've got to train your eyes. Oh dear, McManaway's spun it up. Big cloud of dust. He comes back on the track. Oh dear, it's Mark Osborne pulls off to the infield. McManaway resumes racing in the middle of the rear of the pack, and so now Dixon has a big lead over what becomes the second place car of, well, it's a battle between Natai and Mark Grocott in the 73, and they are absolutely going for it. 861 Ricky Bolton's got Richie Taylor hot on his tail, and Keegan's coming in to join that party as well, along with Hayden Mackay. So Dixon's gone. He's just in a different league at the moment. What you've got to do with that 1NZ car, you've got to ignore the body and watch the wheels. And if you watch the wheels and the grip and where the power goes down, then you can see how effective that 4-bar car is.
Lister goes round.
Oh dear, and the 91 in sympathy as well, spins to avoid. Lister's actually off the racing surface just, but I have a feeling lights will go yellow anyway, because that's a high-risk corner for a car coming onto the pole line.
There we are. Yeah, one of his teammates was coming round and let's just say was using a bit of pole line and it was getting in badly.
Yeah, exactly. But I think
you're 100% right, Tony. You've actually just got to not look at the body of the 1NZ car.
If you can avert your eyes from that body that leans over and looks as if the car's about to tip up, and instead focus on the chassis, focus on the rear wheels, and see where the grip is, where the power is coming down onto the track, then you get a sense of the value of the setup of that car.
Look, I think if you took the body off the 871 car and put that on top of the 1NZ car, no one would ever comment about the 4-bar. It's just the fact that it does look so much like an American late model. It handles. It is absolutely humming at the moment. Fluffy there in the 73 car. He's been throwing it at the wall.
So we're going to resume. 7 laps completed, just over half distance.
We're going to go for the...
we go. Green and away we go. And Mark Grocott in the 73 is going to try and stay with that 1NZ car. But already in the space of half a lap, Pete Dixon's opened a lead of 3 or 4 car lengths. Nartai is staying with Fluffy Grocott, and Bolton is into the rear wheel of Malcolm Nartai there. Bit of super stock rivalry. Richie Taylor's watching all this happen in front of him and thinking there might be an opportunity to go around the outside of these two, because both Bolton and Nartai, they tend to drive a little conservatively once the track slicks up a bit, tend to drive a little bit low. There we go. Richie switches to the inside line, gets alongside Bolton, gets ahead of him. He's going to work over Nartai next. Keegan and the 86 of Mackay having a good battle, almost side by side there. We've got one round. It's Lister in the 4D car in turn 4. Wasn't watching that, was watching the front of the race. So his front wheels have got a little bit skew with there. Not quite sure. We might get a replay and see what's going on.
Yeah, it doesn't get slick when you fly a helicopter.
Very, very different.
Very different.
Clay is not a fluid.
So as we look at the 1NZ car heading around back to Fluffy Grocott, Malcolm Nartai, Richie Taylor and Ricky Bolton.
And we're going to get a restart any second now. Pete Dixon for the second time in the race restarts, and away we go. The 1NZ again builds a lead quickly enough. That car just accelerates in a way that Fluffy Grocott's machine can't match. 19 Nartai holding on to third place, side by side for fourth and fifth, as Richie Taylor goes past Ricky Bolton again and gets almost alongside Nartai as he got the horsepower down the straight. Two sister gorge chassis there, and having a great battle. But out front it's Dixon, past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand, into Enviroways turn, making it look very easy and very quick. I don't know what his lap times have been. Fastest lap is 17.17. This time of the night is not to be sneezed at. And he's absolutely going for it. Grocott in second place, holding that down comfortably enough. But there's no way he's going to make any impression on the lead car. Malcolm Nartai looks as if he's lost a brake rotor there. Something's gone on. It's steam, isn't it? It's
certainly not performance enhancing anyway.
No, and he's going to drop off pretty quickly, I would think, as Richie Taylor will have seen that happen and take advantage. The 871 of Keegan makes a good move on the 861 of Bolton. But here's checkered flag time. 1NZ, Pete Dixon takes it away. Daylight.
Oh, we're spinning and we're round.
Oh, that was what you wanted to see. Well, no, it wasn't exactly what you wanted to see, but that was the battle you wanted to see.
There was an inevitability those guys were going to have a coming together at some point, but it was certainly...
Yeah, we didn't expect it quite in that way, did we?
No, that was...
Good race, though. Really good race. Enjoyed that.
Hard on tyres for a couple of cars. Not a lot of damage out of it when you look at it. But Pete Dixon, put him on the front row, he's dangerous, and we know as the track gets slicker, he gets faster.
Absolutely he does, and we saw that several times in that race, that towards the end of the race he was just able to pull away. No one could keep up with him. All right, I hope you're keeping up with everything else, because we've got to take a break and play some ads.
Want mag wheels now? We've got 14-inch mag and tyre combos from only $8 a week, 15s from $10 a week, and 17s from only $12 a week. 15 stores nationwide, limited time, only at Mag and Turbo.
Hey there, so I'm pit side with Chad Ace. Chad Ace, it's a great way to open your weekend, coming home with a second.
Yeah, it is. It's still early stages, but we'll take the second and go out for race 2 and see what happens there.
Do you know where you're coming off the grid in race 2?
I think it's 19, so yeah, just to keep our nose clean and see how it all rolls out.
Well, you managed, there was a lot going on in that first race, but you did manage to keep it nice and clean and come home, so you must be really happy, especially with the way the car performed.
Yeah, no, the car had good pace. I mean, the track conditions changed from lap 1 to the end lap. It was vastly different, so yeah, we sort of just drove to it and we probably lost a bit of pace on that slick track, but yeah, we brought home second and see what we can do.
And we were speaking to a few other drivers and they said the track's really challenging at the minute. Are you finding that the same?
Oh yeah, massively. The track is just different, and wherever you drive, it's slick down the bottom and real rough out wide, so it's just a bit of a juggling act there.
And of course, do you have to make any adjustments to suit both? Because you've kind of got one track with two totally different conditions on it, haven't you?
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll tune the car up and maybe pull some gears out of it and just see. Yeah, we'll sort of see what happens after this one. We'll probably attack the same track again and just see how we go.
And you must be happy with the way the car's performing. Of course, you've built this engine, so it must be really cool to know that you've got that speed.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, it's very satisfying. Yeah.
I can imagine, so I can tell by the smile on your face. You're like, yes.
yeah. Nah, I'm doing a new engine for myself next year, so hopefully that should be a little bit better as well.
And you've got orders for more engines and stock cars next year?
Oh yeah, we're taking orders already for all sorts of Holdens and Falcons and super stock engines. It's a bit crazy really, but yeah, it's what we do.
Awesome. Well, we wish you and your partner, of course, luck for the rest of the weekend. Hopefully I can come back and grab you tomorrow. You might get a podium, yeah? Wish you all the luck.
Yeah, for sure. It's a long road, but yep, we'll see.
Awesome. Thank you, Chad. Cheers.
Okay, stock cars out for their second heat.
Front row of the grid's going to be fast, Ivan.
Yeah.
Front row, it is going to be the 59 of Rosewarne with Cam Swift. Now, Swift obviously had a front end issue in that last race.
Yeah, so they've got it going again, and Ara Perry's and the 2NZ's back out there.
Yeah, well, he managed to finish the race, so just wondering if it was just more of a driveline type issue. As we all wait for them to head round, they'll clock up a lap. And as I look around out here, it is the 7 car, because the 7 car was our reserve car. Has he been drawn into racing? No. We don't have him out there at the moment. So, a few cars, a wee bit of work. And to be fair, the stock cars did mirror the super stocks in that first race. Lots of cars on the infield, lots of cars needing work done, but probably not really from a race damage. Good also to see the 1NZ car of Alice back out. And of course, he was taken in backwards, so he had something wrong with the back end of the 1NZK car. As we look around, Tennant just going through there. And a lot of it has to be said too for the Auckland cars, the Auckland driver, people residents of Auckland who came down for this. Of course, that's the 808 car of Tennant and the 2 Hemis, both of them coming down to this event. They were going to be under, had we stayed under the current COVID levels, those guys were going to be under quite restrictive measures here at the track just to come racing, and they were, all of them, so much wanted to race that they were prepared to take those restrictions on board had they been the case. As we look to the pit gate, we have, looks like one of the Levine car. It is the 4W parked over there. And it's called for 3. So
I'm allowed to talk again.
You're allowed to talk. You will
It's like I've been in the COVID corner.
Yeah, a little 2 metre fencing around you with a mask on.
We've got people up here flat out trying to sort out the crackling in the system, so
Basically,
I'm scratchy.
Basically,
I might have
sound
COVID.
And that a heck of a baptism. 2 meetings in a super stock with about 6 or 8 cars, and now you're racing in a field of 32.
Right, we're about to go green, so I'll take it over to you, Jared.
And we're away and racing. Rosewarne, he's gone. Oh, is he? No. Perry caught him pretty quick, so you can see the difference in the ratios between those cars. So Rosewarne back to Perry. Perry's up the inside of the 59 car, as is Swift. Here comes the pack. We're going to run down to EnviroWaste. Holy cow, look at the speed as they go in there. Harley Robb just got picked up and fired in. How are we going to come out of all of this? Checking to see if all the wings look like they're upright. We are.
5 wide.
Cam Dench is getting spat out of this. Oh, there's a whole bunch of Christchurch cars that were wondering where they went racing tonight. Out in front, it is the 2NZ of Arapiri. He's already done a lap out of all of that huffing and puffing. Back to Rosewarne, Swift. And it looks like the 13 car. Back to Mooney and Sneaky Skur. So we're running 4 and 5 wide down that mid to back part of the pack. There are guys like Loveridge that are just not backing out. They are hammering it to get through. And if you're a little bit wobbly like the 66 car there, he got slaughtered by Tennant. It is on. And the 136, who was second in the last race, is actually second to last in this race. The pace is so frenetic. Sparks are off the wall. It was Levine that was bouncing off. There's Loveridge to put him in. Over the far side. It is Arapiri into EnviroWaste, followed by...
Problem with Mooney, slowed up coming out of turn 2.
Lennon's come through on the 4 car. He's up on the inside of Sneaky Skur. And they are flying. Oh, we've got... Rackham's gone round. It's caused all sorts of chaos. Mooney's facing the wrong way. There's a 66 and is facing the wall. Now, we're going to go red pretty quick. Looking at the 136 car, looks like he's collapsed the right front. They've gone red so quickly because the cars are so scattered and fast at the moment that actually Saunders has no opportunity to back out.
And we think the super stocks are fast, which they are, don't get me wrong. But these guys here, let's have a look at some lap times. If this is correct, we're looking at 20.54 for Colin Cameron, 21.23 for Cox. Loveridge has done a 21.89. 21 even for Lamb. So these guys here are matching up pace-wise with the super stocks.
Yeah, there is off the fastest ones. There's about a second and a half difference a lap.
Yep.
So over a kilometre is 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's really quick. For as we just watch the replays, courtesy of the Pits TV, it was just the Rackham got all out of shape. In fact, he might have got put round by Sweating.
The next one.
As here we go. You can see Saunders out wide. Rackham goes up the inside. Sweeting's given him the big tube. He's unsettled him there, and 151 just keeps the bumper in. And
got a bit of air time.
66 just climbed over the back of the 15 car, or sort of underneath it. Sort of a strange little incident. Levine was caught up in the middle of all of that.
He's obviously quite happy because I've left him parked up in turn 4.
Well, you can't see him, and that's the problem. So when you're looking for thumbs up,
as the Reds come back in,
we're back in the starter's hands. Our race leader, where is he? He's across the start-finish line. It is the 2NZ. Of course, this is the car that was Harley Robb's old stock car a couple of years ago. And then we move back to the Rosewarne machine. Lennon's come through in the 4 car, so he's back into his groove. As we look at, big hit here under the wall. You can actually feel the building shake with the 47 and 66 ricocheting off the wall. And then they've pulled right out into the front
of the pack. Lennon looks like he's going to gain out of this.
It does. He's got through on Rosewarne. Rosewarne won't be happy about that. And the 41, they're just sitting in to look to see what he can do. Perry is the reason why he's 2NZ. And he is hauling back to Lennon, then Rosewarne. With 28 of Parrots facing the wrong way out of 2. Probably played a hook reverse rather than forward.
Not the forward.
Yeah, no, not a lot of room to do that. Just turn around on the infield and climb back out there. But we are still racing in a fairly dense pack in that sort of the middle to back. Sneaky Skur's looking to make some moves through here, so we're starting to see the 43 car gain some speed. Colin Cameron all out of shape. And he's having it with Penn. And Pen's gone in there. Good grief. Colin Cameron just out of control.
Just bounced off that ripple strip straight into the traffic and got collected.
It was McNally that clipped him, wasn't it?
Yep, he's got going again.
Dench as well.
Man, we've gone red.
We are, but everybody
was moving just as that red came on.
So just an ugly little moment there. Colin Cameron was the pinball.
Oh, it started down here in front of us on the start-finish line. We'll just have a look at the replay, see if they've picked up a replay.
We pause, but
we pause.
we pause. All right, we're going back racing because there was no one to tidy up, no one to correct. But McNally had nowhere to go and all of that. Swift's on the infield, so Colin Cameron's pulled to the infield now as well. I'd say he's
right rear.
Where is our race leader? He's into turn 1, back to Lennon. So just looking at we're not picking him up on the we are seeing on the LS, but the fastest car was Cameron Swift, although Taylor Lamb has pulled a 19.99 in the middle of all of this. So some mid-pack racing that's running super fast. A race leader clocking up another lap.
It's going to come up against some lap traffic. Will that help Lennon?
Yeah, and it's to be fair with Perry, I don't think it's bothering him too much. He does have a few car links. Lennon will run in hot into the corners, but the 2NZ seems to be able to go wherever he wants to go on the track tonight. Now, you wouldn't have thought Cameron Mooney was going to be a back marker, but all of a sudden he's about probably 2 or 3 laps from being picked up by the 2NZ. As we look to see through, everybody's sort of getting a little bit of air around themselves now, so nothing too major. Carrot there trying to race Arwa Johns. Dan Cross there as our race leaders coming up on the back of McNally.
Lennon's caught up now, he's only about a car length behind him.
Yeah, and this is where Arda Perry's going to make the call to go through or around. I don't think you're going to see him open up the inside line too often. He's going to dive down here. McNally washes out. This is what he needs.
White flag's about to come out.
White flag comes out, and you'll see Arda Perry. He's making the passes on the inside. He's not opening the door to have that second guess and have Lennon shoot through on him. He's running to... And Kayla Mooney literally just turns right to let the 2NZ through. Sparks coming off Parrott in front of our race leader into Envirolace. And McNally just dove in hot in the 36 car. It will be Sheldon Araperi. He drove a masterful race there. Whilst Lennon was right on his heels, I think Sheldon just controlled the pace to the end.
Yeah.
As we look through, cars funneling into Envirolace, they're going to race it hard right to the very end. They're slapping, pushing. And I got a funny feeling just some of those little side slaps, there's 1 or 2 guys that are getting a little tired of it. You see 1 or 2 ditched into the wall through that race.
So we won't worry too much about lap times because I'm not 100% confident on lap 4 that Taylor Lamb. Now that is a quick car, but did he do a 19.99? Looking at Chris Wadley, he did a 20.42. They're all in the mid-20s, aren't they? Just looking at them. We have a look at...
They were fast. That was fast. But what was interesting was the way they're racing. The guys are diving up the inside, and when you go 3 wide, if you get someone who gets out of shape, they're just getting slapped into the wall.
Yep.
And you can see 1 or 2 guys are just getting a little bit, like I say, testy and just firing cars in. And I think we're much like the super stocks. You want to race like that, someone's going off the end either tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah. So it sounds like we're ready for an interview with Jamie Hemme down in the pits.
Hey, so I'm down in the Red Walker area. You take up quite a bit of room down here, Jamie.
Yeah, just a little bit. Got the 3 cars here, so why not?
Now, everyone's dying to know, how is it?
Yeah, it felt really good. I loved it, but didn't finish the race, but that's racing, I guess. Yeah. Yep.
Is it faster?
Yep, it's way faster compared to the tank, yep.
Easier to handle, do you think?
I just got to get used to it, and that's going to take a couple meetings, yep, till next season. Yep.
Well, I'm sure that everyone's watching would agree that that being your first race in the car, actually your first outing in the car, you did pretty well.
Yeah, that was my first laps in the car on the track, so yeah, I just got to do more laps tonight and get the hang of the track and the car tonight.
And of course, you came away with a DNF. Was there anything major? You pulled it in for a reason?
The oil pressure light came on, so we got to bring it in, and we got it sorted now, ready for race 2.
Absolutely, that's not something you want to risk, eh, Jamie?
No, you don't want to risk it, especially on your first meeting.
Awesome. Well, Jamie, we'll let you get back to it. I can see you're in long discussions. We wish you all the best. Hey, go beat your dad, yeah?
What's that?
Just between you and I, go beat your dad.
Yeah, I'll try to.
Awesome. Well done. Thanks, Jamie. Cheers.
Build it, make it, fix it, shift it, tow it, stow it, dig it, lift it, mow it, trim it, grind it, chip it. We hire it. Mix it, pour it, smooth it, finish it, saw it, clean it, nail it, polish it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it. 0800 24/7 rent. We hire it.
So, there's been a few technical problems here at this end, but nothing we haven't been able to solve with the technical expertise of Pits TV team.
Well, all negative comments can be directed to that one, can't
Yeah. Yes, any negative comments, that's theirs, and positive stuff, it's to do with us who run the racing. Yeah. There we are. Mini Stocks. By George, we're getting through the program here. Youth Mini Stocks, Heat 2 of their Suck It Up Championship tonight. This race brought to us by a Really Swift Parts, and the stock cars previously was brought to us by Mr. Whippy. And of course, that's everybody's favourite Speedway treat, isn't it?
Well,
Mr.
I don't
Whippy.
know, there's the hot dogs and the sauce.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So,
it's a 50-50 on that.
I mean,
suppose,
we are slipping into a very dark... Actually, I know what I need to do because I can't see out the window. There we go.
Turn the light off. Yeah, beg your pardon. Yeah, I had to put the light on to check the settings on the electronics there. Goodness me.
Right, there we go. I'm not seeing my own reflection in the window, which is a whole lot easier to commentate.
Dear, yes. Yeah. So we're waiting for Mini Stocks to get a green and a go, and it happened now.
They are away and racing, and it is Sidaway that'll lead us away in the 18 car, followed by the 97 of McSweeney head round, and this is quite a gaggle of youth Mini Stocks as we head round.
A giggle or a gaggle?
Gaggle,
Okay.
like geese. And we're all going left, right and centre as we look through that mid-pack there. You're right, in that last race with Osborne peeling through. But we are using a lot of bumpers in the middle of all of this, which is kind of interesting. Out in front, though, it is Sidaway, back to McSweeney, then Andrew McCartney, as in hyphenate. And we've got one round, and we've clutched it, and we're going back in the wall. Woohoo!
A little bit of unintentional contact there.
And there we're going to go yellow, of course. Now the fun bit is as we go to Indian file.
Oh, boy. Yep.
Walk like an Indian. Oh dear, I'll probably get tied off for some sort of prejudice on that one. Anyway.
And these guys do not know how to play an accordion, do they?
Or they do when they also do the Indian file and then they do the run up for the start.
They play it badly, yes, exactly. They do not keep the right
just
distance
watching
apart.
the replay there, what happened, just a little bit of collection on the 41 car with the 422 and the 72. And we clutch it and roll back in the 823, nowhere to go. As we're back in the starters' hands, they give us a green and we unleash the monsters. Wow, that in the context of ants attacking the molehill. It is the 18 car back to the 97 of McSweeney. We've got
several rounds.
We just about had one over there. It was the 99 of Brucknell. Cooper's in the wall, and we're going to go yellow. Well, we just about got a lap in, Tony. Just about.
Well, those cars didn't. Oh dear.
Looking for greater insight and depth into our conversation.
Yes. It's
so how many laps we can put? Two. No, one.
One official lap completed so far.
Well, the modified boys are going to get a wee nudge in the shoulders, but then we get told to wake up before we go in the 8 car.
Not 100% sure why that was either, but anyway, so yet again the concertina effect down the back straight as the cars hurry to close the gap and then realise the gap's closed too quickly.
I would say we're going to go pretty quick on this one, ignoring the fact that the 2 cars off the back are a mile behind. We're racing. There we go. We're not going to hang around as McSweeney ducks to the inside of Sidaway. He's given him the bumper and Sidaway just drives down. Oh boy. Give it a... And then McSweeney goes to the outside. So the front 2 have pulled away a little bit. 12 cars looking to come through as McSweeney goes to the outside of Sidaway. Sidaway moves up on the track. Oh, someone drifts wide and slots the wall. McSweeney to the outside, ducks to the back down onto the rear bumper of Sidaway. There's only a hand in it, goes to the back outside. So he's going It's like watching Ricky Bobby play NASCAR, isn't it? Goes to the inside, goes to the outside.
Vaguely, yeah.
And Jill Gerard. Anyway, out in front though, it is the 18 car. Backed in. Good grief, we just about took a hard left turn down the front straight. Was the 97 of McSweeney. He's gone to the inside. They're keeping it interesting. I've got to give them that.
Oh, yeah.
He looks to the inside, doesn't have the run. Now he's going to go to the outside. Now the first car, that back marker they're going to come on is Lucy Elliott. And will she play an effect in this? Ogle sitting back here. He's just catching a little. Edgeworth and Phillips are having a battle there. And the battle at the moment at the front, it is Sidaway. We'll get through on the back marker. There we go. We go through on Elliott. And now we're going to go to the outside. We've got the Hustos car spun there. Are we all going to get past him? He's on the pole line. They'll give everybody the opportunity, and if he's still there as they come down the back straight, and we're going to go yellow.
It's right about now that people start
buying hot dogs.
Fanning. Well, I was going to say fanning their face and rolling their eyes. Yeah. You got to hand it to these guys. They are racing hard, some of them, and there's some really good skills on display.
Good parents coaching in the background.
You learn your bad behaviour from parents, basically.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's none of these children. It's none of their fault. But don't worry, because my little angel syndrome creeps in, and we'll hear all about it after the meeting. As we go racing again, we do. And we didn't really break a lot there, but Phillips has gone to the outside in the 12 car. This is the moment where, if you've kept a calm composure, has he got the run here? McSweeney's going to go to the outside. But Sidaway will control that pole line.
Oh, 99 goes in strong.
They all going in pretty hot fast. Sidaway was able to go in. I think, to be fair to Sidaway, the 97 car backed out of that, and had he been part of the tubing that was going on in there, Sidaway would have been really unsettled.
3 wide past the grandstand.
But as they go through Enviro Waste, it is still the 18 car of Sidaway. Back to McSweeney, Ogle, Brucknell, Phillips. Yellow light for what? Oh, we've got a spinner over there. The 72 car gone round.
And here comes the checkered flag.
Yeah, I just looked out the window and I could see the clerk of the course walking back to the modifiers to tell them to start. So
yeah. Hands on hips.
It's one of those races that we aren't racing for the Raj. So we can go have. And just looking at the 16 car there, very rapidly making his way to the pit gate. So he's parked himself there with some intent. So he'll be looking for what happened there.
So we're going to cross down to the pits now. We're Sheldon with the 2NZ.
Hey there, so I'm down here with Sheldon Arapiti. Sheldon, you won that race. I think you were foxing us in that first one.
Yeah, simple mistake. Let us down on the first one, but we still managed to get across the line so made up for it in the second one, so we'll see what happens in the next one.
So what was the issue in the first race?
Oh, just a simple computer plug fell out, and it was just a simple mistake from the week, but oh well, it is what it is.
Those simple mistakes are the most gut-wrenching mistakes, though, eh?
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but hey, we've had an awesome season, and you can't win them all, I should say. So, no, it's awesome to get a flag in that one, and yeah, we're chugging along all right, so we'll see what the rest of the weekend brings.
And everything's relaxed down in your camp, so you've come away with no damage. Obviously, you kept it really clean in that second race.
Yeah, just keep our nose clean. It's only the first night. We've still got a few more to go. So, no, it was awesome to come away with no flatties or no damage. So, yeah, bring on the next one.
Absolutely. So, Sheldon, we've been waiting here while the mini stocks are racing, so we really appreciate the time that you've taken to speak to us. We want to give a big shout out to Mandy, though, at home. So, hi, Mandy. Hope you're well. It's a shame you're not here. We miss you.
Yeah, something like that. But I remember it was a boys' weekend, so no, it's all right.
Awesome. Good luck for the rest of the night, Sheldon. Cheers.
Hi, welcome to X Factor Cars, Southland's multi-award-winning pre-owned dealership. Stockists of classic collectibles, V8s, family vehicles, trade vehicles and everything in between. Thinking American or Aussie muscle, family vehicle or custom, Think X-Factor Cars.
And here we are back with our modifieds, brought to us by Seascape Services. Again, just reiterating that although the New Zealand Modified title is here in a couple of weeks' time, there's no particularly significant competition for modifieds tonight. This is just a chance for them to, test out a few things.
Blow some steam.
Yeah, blow some steam and generally...
hopefully not literally, because that would be bad.
Because that would be a bad thing. Yes, indeed. Indeed. You might hear a little noise in the background there. That's the 50-50 ticket being drawn. If you bought a 50-50 ticket tonight, you could be going home with a sizable sum of money.
Gary Lennon in the 9 car. That car is, I think we mentioned this last meeting, that has been through a bare chassis rebuild in the middle of the season, so a lot of work. He'll be loving just getting this car out here.
Absolutely. So we're about to go green, about to go racing. We do. Gary Lennon on his own on the front row, not surprisingly, zips away to the lead, but Ralph Godwin in the 99 car takes the inside line and just gets his nose in front out of turn 2. Lennon will not be happy with that. Goulet with a slightly risky passing manoeuvre on Kevin Ban. 49 takes over third. Ban very quick. Oh, big hit by Goulet. He's over. Oh my goodness me.
That was just out of control.
That was Goulet, tagged the side of the 99 car, got sideways. Kevin Ban tried to avoid. Goulet ricocheted back out into the path of Ban and did a bit of a barrel roll there. Right in front of the fire crew and the
Fortunately, Kevin
officials.
Ban looks like he's just lost the tyre. He'll have some bent suspension arms. Godwin, how on earth he never went over is a miracle. Gurley has definitely been open. Interesting enough, this is the first time I've seen it as such. He's ripped a chunk out of his wing in his roll.
Oh, he has too. Yes, you can
So the wing itself is actually, he must have pirouetted on the side. So I'm going to be interested to see the replay on that. So the thing with Mike is that he's out of the car. He's walking fine.
You can see him walking away. You see him
So
on
he's
the
okay.
screen. That was a nasty roll, but these cars are pretty safe. Now we're going to have a look at the replay here, I think, and see what happened.
No, they just want to wait to make sure that Ralph's fine first, because Ralph's gone into the wall pretty hard and they're still talking to him. But yeah, Mike's was just a really nasty change of direction.
It was, and that release of energy
and then he's
the
gone
car went over.
He's sort of onto his side, which has crumpled the wing all up. They're just going to lift the car out of the way. I don't think it's that badly damaged. I mean, to be fair, I don't think we'll see much of it tonight.
No.
But it's not like you're expecting. It's not like the 7 or 8 times that Hayden Mackay decided to tip it over a couple of years ago.
No, indeed. Kevin Ban, as you say, I think it's mainly just suspension damage, rear suspension damage probably. I think he might be out for the night as well.
Okay, so we are going to go to a replay, so we'll get to see what actually happened here. And yeah, they've talked to Ralph. I'd say he's just banged his knees into the. So Ralph's up high. Mike's car literally just turned hard right, and then turned hard left. It's done a pirouette on its top. So yeah, everybody's really innocent victims out of that. Mike's got on the gas, and the car has literally just turned hard right on him. Ralph was out by the wall, so if we watch it again on the replay, Ralph's out high, he's backed out of the gas. Something's wrong with the 99 car already. Gurley got onto the gas and the car just turned right on him. He's hit Godwin. Yeah. Godwin's pirouetted. Fortunately, probably not a lift. And Ban just got collected. And it's only but the forces of physics and gravity that have stopped Ban from going over.
Yeah, indeed. And multiple angles, courtesy of the Pits TV and Flow Racing there. Yeah, as you say, something
Whoa.
weird, just weird from Mike Goulet's car. It almost as if I couldn't even speculate as to what might cause that. But
and as we watch the replay, the car puts itself back together. So it's a whole lot. It's a bit now about when Mike would like the race to stop. So he's gassed it, and it's basically set down on the left rear.
I think what's happened is he's gassed it, lifted the front wheels. He's no longer got steering. He hasn't quite got the line, and it pulls itself to the right.
I tell you, Kevin Ban was shooting for a gap that closed very, very quickly. And yeah, as we
have a look at the black 4 car this last time in the replay, and you'll see he lifts the front wheels there, and he's not got any purchase of those front tyres to re-straighten the car. So it's just a combination of a number of little issues, really.
To be fair to both Godwin and banned, they've got out of this lightly.
Yeah.
I mean, they're innocent victims in all of this. The issue's whatever Mike's car turned hard right. You see it there. It would just pick the front wheels up and drove him right. Effectively, it was just driving so hard off that left rear. And I would be so far, not that we're any experts in this, to suggest that Mike's had some suspension, either something's gone wrong with the suspension, or it is the wrong shocks for the setup, because it just turned him hard right. You see it here. As we watch him, he gets on the gas here, and the car literally just turns right there. Bang! There's no control over it. How Godwin did not
end up going over. Yeah, agreed.
In fact, if anything, Ralph's car he's touched the wall, but he's probably got out of it without any bent suspension too.
So if we find out anything from the pits talking to Mike Goulet, we will let you know, but he may not be in a frame of mind to want to say much, and that would be understandable.
Well, he's not exactly the most renowned for wanting to get on the microphone at any given time.
So we're green and racing again, and for the second time Gary Lennon leads us away. Evan Nicol looking pretty wobbly coming out of turn 4 there, manages to hold up several cars behind him. The 32 of Ian White has pulled straight off to the infield, and Dan Ray suddenly found the go button and decided to... oh no, Ian White's pulled in again. He's done half a lap on the infield, and now he's back on the track again. So the lead car is the 9 of Gary Lennon, the 69 of Andrew Navan in second place. Evan Nichols holding on to third at the moment, ahead of Cassandra Massey in the 11, Hayden Corbett in the 22, and Nathan Astle, somewhat uncharacteristically, near the back of the field in the 10. But further behind them, we've got the 24 of Dan Ray and the 32 of Ian White. Ian White is just tooling around there. There's definitely some problem with that car. He pulls it back into the infield. Not got the power. Something's motor mechanical issue there for Ian White, I would say. Gary Lennon in the meantime has just done a 16.6 second lap and is fair hauling round the track all on his own. He's very nearly half a lap ahead of the second place car, which is Hayden Corbett. Now Astle has decided to stretch the legs of that 10 car. He's obviously decided the motor is sound, working well, and he needs to push it a little bit further. So he's picked up the pace and he's racing with Corbett now, and frankly looks the faster car. So he goes around the outside, Corbett up the inside. They're giving each other a lot of room. They don't want to trip over each other. They both know that with the New Zealand title 2 weeks ago away, the risks of tangling is just not worth it. So Astle doing the pass the hard way, round the outside on the high line, but he gets the job done, takes over second place, but he's very nearly a half a lap behind the 9 car of Gary Lennon. Not much of a workout for Lennon this, you'd have to say. He's all on his own. It's more like a practice than a race for him, but he's giving it heaps, as he always does. Astle in second place, Corbett third, and Dan Ray side by side with Cassandra Massey in the 11 car. Not often you'd expect to say that, but there you go. It's a sign of how much Massey's improved this season, and some of the difficulties that Dan Ray's been having as well. So 8 laps completed, about to be 9, matches the number on the side of the car, and the white flag waves. Just 1 to go for Gary Lennon. Coming down past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand now into Envirowaste turn. He just needs to bring it home, pick up a race win. That'll boost his confidence, give him a bit of background data to work with. As you say, that car was rebuilt mid-season, hasn't had the track time in it that some of the other guys in this field have had, and he's got a New Zealand title in 2 weeks' time at his home track, which no doubt he will want to perform well in.
As we look at the ELS, the fastest car was actually Dan Ray. Probably not a huge surprise there, but both he and Gary Lennon pulled their fastest laps on lap 2, as did the 69C of Andrew Navan. So the track definitely went away from them, but I actually get the impression the race disappeared pretty quick too. Just watching a little bit of chaos going on, and there'll be some interesting debriefing in the pits over what just unfolded out there, because really, the more you watch it on the video, the more you realise everybody was just passengers.
Yeah.
Something's gone wrong. We don't know what it is, and poor Mike just carrying parts of his car back in.
Yeah, it's never a good look when you have to carry parts of your car back into the pits with you, is it?
Well, it's either that or it's worse when the car gets spit roasted by the tow trucks.
Oh, indeed. Okay, so that was Seascape Services Event 11 Modifieds. Coming up, Event 12, it's the next heat of the Super Stocks. Of course, Super Stocks running their Battle of the Stocks tonight. 16 pairs of cars. They race 4 points in their pairs. And I'm not sure if Ivan's been down in the pits and been picking up any nuggets of information. I suspect he might have a little bit tucked away up there. So we'll hand over to him next and see where things are going. In the meantime, we might play a couple of ads.
Want mag wheels now? We've got 14-inch mag and tyre combos from only $8 a week, 15s from $10 a week, and 17s from only $12 a week. 15 stores nationwide, limited time, only at Mag and Turbo.
The St Nicholas is a familiar sight around Bluff as she steams out to capture Can-Do Fishing's famous Bluff Kinner. Once caught, the kinner is brought back to the purpose-built factory in Bluff where it is processed, packed and shipped fresh to you. But that's not all that Can-Do Fishing can do for you. Try some of their green-boned fish or delicious power products and you will soon see why seafood from the Bluff is world famous. So head to your local fish market or supermarket and ask for Can-Do Fishing Kinner, fish or power. Can-Do Fishing, there's nothing we can't do for you.
As we are heading out now for the second heat of the Suck It Up Battle of the Stocks. And, well, Ivan, a couple of bits of carnage from the last race. What have you got to report?
Yeah, well, the Ant McKenzie got a hole in the sump.
You kind of hope the hole went from the outside in, not the inside out.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't going to get into it too much. Alex Hill in the 95 car, they tell me the centre section of the rear end, the diff, it's blown to pieces. They're going to be out for the night, and they've said that they're going to try and find another one and be back out here tomorrow.
So he'll be looking for a centre section. Well, hopefully, there should be plenty of spears lurking around Christchurch. There's plenty of cars
sitting around doing nothing, so
I get the impression there's one or two people that might get phone calls tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd say.
So that would mean if not Alex Hill, Ants McKenzie has tried to lubricate the track, then we will have a stand-in driver for that car, won't we?
Yeah, now I did hear that before.
There he is, he's over the other side there.
Yep. 32 comes in now as a replacement. What an induction into Superstock racing.
Third meeting in a Superstock, straight out of mini stocks. They bought one of the ex-Suck It Up cars. Of course, Malcolm's been on a selling spree this year, selling off gorge chassis. He's still got one more car to go, I believe. And, the lawnmower's out there.
Yeah.
Darryl Wallace.
That is a very quick V6.
Yeah, it just sounds about as nasally as I do tonight. Anyway.
Goes a lot better than you do, even with the sound. You want to get into the Battle of the Stocks? Go and buy yourself a car. You'll have to earn your right to get in, but at least you've got the car.
Well, it's one of the, if not the only Higgins chassis that I think has got the Nissan in it.
Yep.
It's VK56 or something.
And then the 46 car of Ethan Levine, minus a partner. Then we go back to Bryce Steiner out of Rotorua in the 118. On his outside, Jaden Ward in the 971. Adam Groom's back on the inside there, so the North Islanders are on the inside in this one.
So Mitchell Berry's at the back there, so who's he stood in for? There's his partner. I think he is with... Is he with Ashton?
Is he with Ashton or is he?
No, he's with Joblin.
Joblin, with 62.
Adam Joblin.
Righto. We're about to go green. Second heater, Battle of the Stocks. And we're away and racing. Who's going to get into the corner first? Eulenberg. Lloyd Jennings up wide. Brett Nichols in the 48 car. He shoots up and takes over a spot. There's Sparks up bouncing off the wall. Who's that? Joblin in the 52. He's dropped back. He's picked up the pace again. Let's get into 3 and 4. The dust is rising. There's cars up the wall. As they come out of turn 4, there's somebody half spun round. That's Godfrey. But they're all over the place trying to sort out the... There's a bit of mayhem there. Lyman's just gone round in the 99. Hearn's just gone round as well. Dust is flying. 571 of Jamie Hemme, he's just been turned round. They all get straightened up again. Back up the front. Jordan Dare on the outside of Eulenberg. Then we go back to Brett Nichols. Ethan Levine in the 46. And we go back to Lloyd Jennings in the 25. Wayne Hemme in the 591. Then we go back to Simon Joblin, Malcolm Nartai, Jaden Ward, Phil Ogle. Then we go back to Darryl Wallace. And on the outside there we have Quinn Ryan and Thomas Stanaway. In behind these guys. Who's that parked up over there? We had one go over, I've missed it.
It's Godfrey.
We've gone red. we were commentating down 3 and 4. It looks like the wings collapse, so I'm picking he's gone over. He's not having a... He's out of the car.
Something's not happy in there. I'd say he's... He was definitely unfailing himself and is checking his ankles. Just looking down the far end, Ashton's backed in the wall at 4. Probably better than being nosed in the wall, to be fair. And this first lap, Ivan. Tony's on the other side. He's got a microphone on here. Just the speed that they're going into 3 and 4. It's not often you think you're crowded in turn 2.
No. And they're just going in so hot into turn 3 as well. So fast. Down that back straight.
Well, the thing is, you can enter that corner at 3 really fast, and
turn 4 that bites you.
But you've actually still got to get the car facing the front straight, and that's the bit that catches you. I don't know if you've ever done it, but I've had a go at trying to take that corner without touching the brakes, and turn 4 comes up pretty hard.
So they're just opening up the pit gate. Maybe, oh no, they're just letting out a tow truck.
But hopefully we're just going to see in the background on one of these shots, we might actually see what happened to Godfrey. Sparks off the wall, so these cars are using all the track. They're going from that pole line to the wall, ricocheting off, doing what they need to do. And they are absolutely flying out there. Wayne Hemme in the 591, fastest lap thus far, 18.9. That is quick.
That's real quick.
Bearing in mind, these are still 1,400 kilo cars that are ungainly things that don't break well.
Yep. And the reds come in. And we're away and racing again. So,
we've got 32 as it started.
So we'll go red again. And we'll just, usual story, gets it fired up as the reds come on.
The brakes must have cooled down something ferocious.
They must have, yeah. Just picking up who's leading us at the moment.
Eulenberg.
Blair Eulenberg. So just push Berry off. Shame for the young fella. But he'll get back.
Levine running second, back to Hemme and Deer. Here we go.
We're about to go green again, and we are. So Eulenberg takes off, gets us into turn 1, coming up against the back markers. Then we go back to Ethan Levine. Brett Nichols on the outside of Wayne Hemme as they go down the back straight. Jordan Dere's in behind them, Lloyd Jennings. Let's watch it as they go into 3 and 4. Bit of dust coming up. Simon Joblin's on the outside there. Eulenberg still leading us over Levine. And behind Simon Joblin is Jaden Ward. He's coming to the picture. Malcolm Nartai, Thomas Stanaway. Now he's up the inside of Nartai. Then we go back to the 282 of Ogle. Darryl Wallace in the 557. He's there. Then we go back to Quinn Ryan and Chad Ace. Then Adam Groom. So back up the front. They come past us again. Blair Eulenberg in the 28S car. He's got it at this stage. Jordan Dare, he's found a heap of spots. They're there. He's just come up into that second spot. Then we go back to Ethan Levine. He's on the outside. Wayne Hemme's up the inside. Jaden Ward, he just gets tangled there, half spun. Thomas Stanaway's gone round. He gets out of the way. Lloyd Jennings has gone round as well. The field manages to avoid them. But she's a freight train as they're going into turns 1 and 2. Fieldsy's gone in there quicker than he ever has. 23, Kendall Ashton. She's had some collapse in the left rear by the look of it. But let's pick up our leader as he comes out of turn 4. Blair Eulenberg out of Stratford. He's leading us at this stage. Jordan Dare in the 581, he's in that second spot. Then we go back to Ethan Levine, the paddle's on for Simon Joblin. He's on the outside of Ben Hearn, who's a lap marker. Wayne Hemme's got a wee bit of damage here in the 591, some smoke coming off the left rear there. He must have got one in the wheelgate. Jaden Ward, he's up the inside of him, as is Brett Nichols. Malcolm Nartai, he's there as well. So Wayne Hemme's just got a bit of smoke coming off that left rear. Bit of mayhem as they come down the front straight there. They're bouncing off the wall on each other. Adam Groom just drives himself straight off the end into turn 1, just past the pit gate. Must be something wrong with that car. but our race leader comes past us. Blair Eulenberg. Jordan Dare's closing up the gap. It's about 3 or 4 car lengths, and we go back to probably half a dozen to 8. Ethan Levine, Simon Joblin's made up some good ground in that 72. Then we go back to Jaden Ward. Groom's got it going again, but there must be front damage. And behind Jaden Ward, we have Brett Nichols out of Nelson. Then we go back to Malcolm Nartai. And behind him is Darryl Wallace. So the race pace is frenetic. Tom Cooper tried pulling off right in front of Joblin in the 52. He tries to get out of the way, but our race leader comes past us. Another lap's out of the way for the 28 from Stratford of Eulenberg. And behind him, we've got Dare. He's still holding on to that spot. Then we go back to Levine, who's about to come under a ton of pressure from Simon Joblin. These back markers now are playing Eulenberg. Another lap for him. Starting lap 13. Go through 1 and 2. Wayne Hemmy's getting pushed along by 47 and Nigel Keats. Don't know what that's about. But Eulenberg, he's coming through 3 and 4. Jordan Dare's closed up the gap. He's half a car length in behind him now. White flag. This time round for Eulenberg. Jamie Hemmy's just trying to get up the inside of him. Opening up the door a wee bit for Jordan Dare. Hemmy's going down the back straight there, Jamie Hemmy. He's going in pretty hot. Is he going to play a part? No. Eulenberg's still taking it at this stage. As they come out of turn 4, Blair Eulenberg in the 28, over Jordan Dare in the 501, Simon Joblin over Ethan Levine. Then we go back to Jaden Ward, Harley Robb, Brett Nichols, Malcolm Nartai, Darryl Wallace, Quinn Ryan, back to Thomas Stanaway, Wayne Hemmy, Hearn, and we've got a 62P trying to avoid something, or did he get tagged?
He got spun around there. He was trying to just hang on to the car to get across the line. That was frenetic. Lots of damaged tyres out of that one. I'd say we've got a few tyres on the track and 1 or 2 broken springs. Awesome to see Eulenberg absolutely humming in the 28S car. Definitely something's wrong with the 9B. He drove himself and then he tried to get going and basically the front locked up.
I wonder if something happened to him coming down the front straight, because there was a big thud and he bounced off the wall. Something must have broken and it just fired him straight off the end past the pit gate.
Yeah, well, it was a hard race for a few cars. 1 or 2 guys probably realising that this is that we're not playing for keeps so much, but the sheer space, you can't make a mistake. You make a mistake, the pack will spit you out.
Yeah, exactly.
But there'll be a lot of happy guys because a lot of drivers probably haven't run that fast this year.
No, and hopefully we'll get some of these guys. There'll be some mad repairs going on. So let's just have a look at it. I'm looking at some points there. Malcolm Nartai sitting on 58, is it, Tony? 56. Then we go back to Thomas Stanaway on 55, Harley Robb on 55, Jordan Dare on 54, Jaden Ward 52, and then we go down to Levine on 51, Quinn Ryan, Chad Ace, Simon Joblin all on 50. So Blair Eulenberg, he's on 49 at this stage. So these are just points that we're getting, but we wouldn't want to say they're all 100% official until we get some.
As we head around, we have another lap or so. Just look over to the pit chute. No one, the Super Saloons are gritting up.
Yeah, they'll be next up after Productions. Productions are event 13 on our program, brought to us by Smith's Hire. And a big thank you once again to Suck It Up for bringing us the Battle of the Stocks, both the Super Stocks and the Stock Cars, and also the Mini Stock title that's being run tonight as well.
Pretty much everything this weekend.
Yeah, everything this week, as Malcolm's put his hand in his pocket for, so thank you to him and his team. Okay, away we go. Brad Gordon in the 72 car and the very bright 1NZ of Matt Sherlock. And Sherlock just gets the jump there. The 99 of Nick Fraser settled into 3rd place. Looking pretty racy though, and he's always been quick this season. So this will be an interesting battle. You've got 3 very quick cars at the front, well, relatively speaking for Production Saloons anyway, at the front of this field. And this 3-way battle could be quite a good one. Our visitor from Nelson, the 12 car of Cornelius, leads Ian Clark. And then we go further back to Alan Bailey in the 91 car, Chris Bailey in the 16 battling with David Filius, Vaughan Fairburn and Matthew Cox near the back of the field. So coming out of turn 3 and about to cross the start-finish line now, Matt Sherlock has got that 1NZ car fair humming, and it's a tight race for second between Brad Gordon and Nick Fraser. Cornelius trying to stay with these top 3, but I think the gap is lengthening a little bit. and Ian Clark just falling off the back of the 12 car too. So it's very much a 3-horse race at the moment, with Sherlock a good lead, probably 8 car lengths over Fraser. Oh, Fraser goes into the side of Brad Gordon there. Very much a street stock style move, that one. I don't think it was intentional. He got his wheel up on the pole line and the front of the car got loose and he's had to back out of it. So Gordon settling into second place now. If he hasn't got any damage, it's probably going to give him a little bit of an advantage. Fraser's got to give himself a bit more room if he's going to try and get past Gordon. He does that round the outside, throws the car in, gathers it up mid-corner and comes out of turn 2 ahead. That is a very nice pass by Nick Fraser, you have to say. And he takes over second place. Can Brad Gordon come back at him? He drifts a little wide, does Fraser there, and that does allow Gordon to come back down the front straight. But I think he's got enough through 1 and 2 to be able to pull away. Cornelius trying to close the gap on these two as well. Ian Clark staying with Cornelius and Alan Bailey closing on the back of Clark as well. Meanwhile, out front, the 1NZ car's got a healthy lead, just has to bring it home really. Second place, Nick Fraser in the 99. He's holding off Brad Gordon, who's a few car lengths ahead of the 12 from Nelson. So Sherlock gets a bit of a wriggle on down the back straight there, and he's close to lapping the back marker at the moment, the 66 of Cox. He picks up the white flag. Will he sit in behind Cox for the last lap, knowing that he's got a big lead, or will he risk the pass? Cox's car just a little taily. A pass wouldn't be the safest option here, and he's just settling in. And Fraser's catching him at quite a rate of knots, but he knows that the checkered's about to come out, and he's going to pick it up. And there it goes. Matt Sherlock, intelligent drive, ahead of the second place of Fraser, Gordon in third.
Yeah, well, Sherlock, the fastest car on the track there at 20.5. Fraser did pull a 20.9, everybody else in the 21s. And they managed to get that through without incident, because the support races are proving to be a bit of a challenge tonight.
They have been a bit of a challenge, but these guys did the right thing, and it's all good.
And our Super Saloons will be out shortly to do their third round as we watch the taxi do a pirouette. And are we disappearing for a minute or two, Tony?
Yeah, we're going to go for some ads, and I think on the stream you're going to get an interview.
Hey guys, so I'm here with Mike Gooley. Now, you had a huge moment. First of all, are you okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Yep. No, the car isn't, but yeah, we went for a bit of a ride, and yeah, here's the results of the car, and yeah, we've got a lot of work to do in 2 weeks to get back here, but the car prior to this, it was pretty fast. I was pretty happy with it, so yeah, no. Here we are.
And of course you had no clue what happened until you seen the replay over at the pits truck.
Yeah, I didn't have a clue. I thought someone had tagged me from behind, but basically it bit in, like there was some water on the track, and it just bit in and just turned, and the rest is history.
And I guess you had landed and it was all over before you even knew what was going on.
Oh, I knew what was going on. I quickly turned the motor off because I think I had my foot flat. So, yeah.
Well, it was pretty vicious. I was sitting up there and watching it. It was definitely a bit of a wow moment. We're glad that you're okay. Is the damage worse than what it looks?
It will be worse than what it looks. Young Jake, who's got South Island Raceworks, which is Trevor's boy from the North Island, who builds our cars and does a good job, I'll give it to him and close my eyes and let him get on with it.
Well, we wish you all the luck for, of course, 2 weeks. We've got the Modified Champs down here. First of all, like I say, we're glad you're okay. We wish you luck. We know you've got another car, but of course this is your main priority to get it fixed.
Oh, definitely. This one here, yes.
Absolutely. I'll let you go and pop it in the trailer. So, well done. Well done. You gave us all a moment.
Yes.
Awesome. Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Hi, welcome to X Factor Cars, Southland's multi-award-winning pre-owned dealership. Stockists of classic collectibles, V8s, family vehicles, trade vehicles, and everything in between. Thinking American or Aussie muscle, family vehicle or custom? Think X Factor Cars.
This is Interprovincial Super Saloon Teams Racing, Nelson, Dunedin and Christchurch. It's a 3-round series. At the end of this series, we're hoping that Claire will be able to pop in with some points and tell us which province has won the racing tonight overall, as it's a teams event. But there will be a feature race at the end of the night for the Super Saloons where they're no longer racing as part of a team, and there'll just be an all-in battle, scrum, wrestle for the lead.
In other words, who's going to beat Dixon is what that's really what that's going to come down to.
So in this race, Nelson and Dunedin are off the front row. With the teams get to choose which cars. They get their grid slots according to their N, D or C designation, but they actually get to choose which cars out of their team race in which particular grid. So in this particular occasion, Nelson have put the 492 of Campbell McManaway off the front, and Dunedin have put the one of Pete Dixon off the front.
Oh, there's a surprise. So as an aside to that, years ago we so this is a regurg. Well, I should say regurg, not the right word.
Yeah, it's a return of something we used to do every season, isn't it?
And years ago, I remember being down at Beachlands where they decided the grids were done differently. You appeared with one of your club mates, and you had a first, second, or third row out of the 3 teams.
Right.
And Dunedin at that time was struggling for Super Saloon numbers, so they had 2 saloon cars. One being Wayne Andrews,
yep,
in a saloon, and the other one being Dave McCallion. Both very accomplished drivers.
Indeed.
And they got the front row start for their team. And rather than put the fast cars off the front, they put the 2 slowest cars, which were McCallion and Andrews, side by side, and they went around and drove in formation. So they okay, literally drove half a car width apart, so you couldn't go between them.
Yep.
They drove a line off the and you had the likes of Dennis Bolt, Brian Jenkins, I think even Tony Cardwell at the time, were all just in there, and they were hitting, just bunting each other. And Richie Taylor was in, and you could actually, when Richie and Dennis got out after the race, they were in hysterics because you just could not get. They drove in perfect formation
the whole race.
It was a lap to go, and then Dennis and Richie bunted them out of the way. But it was just done so beautifully, and it just goes to show you can do it legally in teams race.
Yeah.
In saloon teams racing, you can create a bit of an obstacle.
A mobile chicane, a block.
But they raced beautifully, and it was hysterical to watch because all this horsepower behind them and no one could do anything.
Well, let's see if that happens here. Somehow I don't think either Pete Dixon or Campbell McManaway are of that mindset, but we will see. We will see. They're off the front of the race anyway, and it's about to go green. We're about to see the last heat of the provincial teams Super Saloon racing. Here we go, and Pete Dixon, it's side by side, it's neck and neck as they go into one. I think Dixon's going to go high. He loses a place there, loses a couple of places. The winner out of all that was Fluffy Grocott in the 73 and Luke Keegan in the 871, who gets bunted. Did he get hit in the back there?
He did, certainly.
I think he got hit there as he came into turn 3, but he settled into 4th place, and Pete Dixon's lost out big time there off the start. Which is interesting. His car drifted wide, and the other cars were able to tighten the line and get up the inside of them. It's tight out there. No one's run away with it. McManaway's got the lead, but only by a car length or 2. Fluffy Grocott in the 73 machine and the 58 of Richie Taylor. Keegan drifts very wide, but he's looking for the slingshot off 2. He can't really hold off the 861 of Ricky Bolton. I think Bolton's got more horsepower, and I think it's showing. Dixon's tucked in behind these guys, and Malcolm Nartai's run up the inside of Dixon. Dixon running a very high line there at the moment, and it's opened the door for Nartai, who loves that inside line in the Super Saloon. Almost 3 wide for a second there, but Dixon thought better of it and backed out. Out front, McManaway can't get away from Richie Taylor. Taylor is absolutely on a mission here. Will he be able to get past McManaway? Of course, McManaway drives for Nelson, Richie Taylor for Canterbury. So Taylor really wants to make the pass. He was looking for the inside line there, but McManaway outbraked him. There's not many people that outbrake Richie Taylor on turn 3, I can tell you. Taylor sticking the nose up the inside through 1 and 2, but McManaway gives him no room. Taylor has to back out, and that's lost him a few car lengths. The 73 of Grocott's holding on to a solid 3rd there, ahead of Ricky Bolton in 4th. Dixon's running that high line now, trying to make some progress forward. He's got past Nartai, and he's starting to hunt down his teammate Ricky Bolton. Will he make the pass on Bolton? Does he need to? They both drive for the same team. I don't know. Out front, McManaway's gone a bit defensive now. The track's starting to dry up a little bit, and he knows Taylor's right behind him. And I think he suspects that Taylor's a little bit quicker too. So he's got to drive a bit more defensively. Taylor's got the bit between his teeth. He's closed up those car lengths he lost with that incident a few laps before. Will we see him try and push an opening here? He's running the inside line. He's got almost alongside. I think McManaway will have to yield. He does. Taylor has the drive out of 2 to do this. There it goes, and he takes over the lead of the race. Nice inside pass by Richie Taylor. McManaway's not giving up though. He's going to run a little higher. He's going to see what he can give out of that cornet forward. But Taylor's got the edge on him. So Ricky Bolton now. He needs to see if he can get past McManaway and get Otago into second place. Behind him, Grocot's just been passed on the inside by Dixon. Dixon's got that I'm going super fast look about him now as the tracks come to him. The car still looks a little bit ungainly, but there's some serious speed there out of that 1NZ machine. Further back in the field, there's a good battle between Nartai, Hayden Mackay and Luke Keegan. Further back, Paul Berg's holding off the 12 car of Shane Carey. We go back to Terry Soper, who's got quite a distance to catch up to Carey. And at the back of the field, Lister and the 3NZ of Willie Woodhouse and the 444 of Huddleston. We're in the white zone now. Taylor's got this. He just has to bring it home. He comes out of turn 4, avoids the lap traffic and picks up the checkered flag. Second place goes to Ricky Bolton in the 861. Great drive from him to get past the 492 of McManaway, who has to settle for third. What did you think, Jared?
Interesting just to see how in those later stages the likes of Richie Taylor's car came on strong. Interesting battle also watching further back through the pack between Mackay, Nartai and Keegan. Both Hayden Mackay and Luke Keegan experimented with rubbing their cars along the wall at times. Apparently it's not a setup choice that you'd take. No. But I actually think the points for this racing isn't going to be one who isn't going to be at the front end of the field of who's winning the races. It's those guys that, you know, the Terry Soper, they stuck him right off the back. Did he come through and pass lots of cars? Because he did come through the pack a wee bit. And that, I think, is where this championship's going to be won. As we just look, but a few of these cars had really close moments as we head down to the pits with Bianca.
Yeah, guys, so joining me pit side is Blair Eulenberg. You're a long way from home, Blair, so it must be good to pick up that win.
Yeah, it's pretty good, yeah. Especially we've travelled a long way, so good to get a win and, yeah, good for our points.
And, of course, you're paired up with Lloyd Jennings. I think he came home about 12th in that race, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he got turned around, so pretty unlucky off our front grid, but he got back to, about 10th or 12th, so it's pretty good just to get back to there in this quality field.
But that's still like a first and a 10th or a 12th. It's still a good case of points for you.
Yeah, it's still good points for overall because obviously it's over 7 races, so it's still good points to get in the bag.
And where are you coming off in your third race?
We're both off the back, so yeah, we've got a bit of work to do, but yeah, should be right.
And how are you finding the track? Because there's been a few drivers saying it's a bit rough out there.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit rough, but yeah, once you get used to it, it's all right. But it's a bit slick on the bottom, so yeah, try and run out wide and go where the grip is.
Well, hopefully they've got the water truck out there at the minute because of all this dust, we can hardly see each other.
Yeah, no, it's not too bad out there, but I couldn't imagine what it's like from the outside trying to watch.
Awesome. Well, Blair, listen, we've pulled you away from the car. You're a long way. Go back and join your team. Well done on the win. Well done, Blair. Thanks, and good luck for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, sweet. Thank you.
Awesome. Cheers.
So as stock cars come out for their final heat for the night. Oh, look at the pairing that's off the front row.
The 4 and the 5 car. So they're second on points going into this, with Harley Robb and Brett Loveridge at the front.
Interesting to see where they are and how far they can come through.
Of course, you go home and you have a shower, pull the car out of the trailer in the morning,
do a full check over,
and there's a different day tomorrow. So some of the cars that are missing setups tonight, or some of the cars that are nailing setups tonight, will miss them tomorrow, or they'll nail them tomorrow. It's kind of that, because the track will get Windroad tonight, she'll get laid again, and then they'll put the water into it tomorrow, and it'll be a different track. Obviously the climate's got something to do. It's been pretty overcast all day today, and it will be a completely different track surface.
Oh, exactly. And it'll catch people out.
It is going to catch people out. Many a time we've seen people almost turn their cars inside out to make them tight for the last races and then not reset them for the start of the following night. And for a lot of these drivers, fortunately with stock cars, you don't tend to do too much. Super stocks are probably more prone to noticing the changes. But, you know, tomorrow's a different day. So for some of these drivers, it might be a rough night. As we...
and just looking at Loveridge and Rob, they're not too far back off the others on the front row there.
How much work has gone into that 16B car? Because when I last saw that...
Oh, mate, they got smoked at the New Zealand title. Didn't they? I felt sorry for him. Well, I didn't. It's a New Zealand title. You had to expect it, but... Mate,
yeah, it was his title. I mean, bearing in mind that the guy that won it, Mr. Ellis, was 9th on points going into that final race.
Yep.
So there were 8 cars in front of him taken out. Loveridge had it in the bag, except for someone very wildly, number 99S.
Yep.
Of Will Hughes. Now, that's fine. Car was smoked. Lots of damage. 2 weeks ago, or was it 3 weeks ago now, he was doing teams in Wellington, and it didn't look particularly pretty after that. So you start going through some of these cars. Some of these cars have had a hard season.
So just looking at it, Levine's pulled off the 4W. 69W's just pulled off there, going at the mid-turn. Oh no, he's got going again. Must have been just a technical fault. Or is he? Yeah, no, he's really going back out on the track. So as we see, Braden Lennon, he brings them up high.
Well,
obviously they see something. I've been around the track. Penn.
I've often thought it'd be quite cool if you can arrange it with your front row partners for one car to go up by the wall and one car sit on the pole line.
Well, yeah, because you can do that. They don't have to be side by side like this.
Well, as Regan O'Brien and Mike Mack proved years ago, you don't actually have to grid up facing forward either.
So the 69 car, he must have something wrong as he pulls to the infield. It'll be interesting to see if Penn just lets Lennon go, knowing that he's quick and it's his home track, to try and bag some points and just duck him behind him.
I think you've got Sweeting and Lamp behind them, they're quick, and then Sneaky Stir and Sturzak aren't too far back in points either. So
McNally's not slow. And
in all honesty, the best thing to do is just go for it and don't hit each other.
Sit on the brakes. Just hold the inside row up.
No, I'm pretty sure in this racing you do have to roll, but yes, yeah. And saying that, look at the length of the queue. It's a bit different in a team's race when you've only got 3 cars behind you, but when you've got 16, it might be a bit different.
Gently touch the brakes.
You have to have whopping great big 4 pots on all wheels to do that. And we're away and racing, and the 4 and 5 car. Penn leads us away with Lennon will duck in behind. Sweeting's ducked underneath Lennon. We funnel him through with the rest of the pack. So we're racing in those top 4 positions, but here comes the pack down the back straight. This is where you hold on. As the cloud of dust goes up, Sturzak has gone sideways. Did that get around the corner better? Oh, Nick will go round. And Mark Senior's out there actually in the 7 car, so he must be standing in for somebody. As we look through Rackham. And here comes Harley Robb in the 991. This is going to be interesting to see him and Rackham go wheel to wheel, given that Stu just built that car. Mooney's pulling to the infield on the far side. Out in front though, it is Penn, followed by Sweeting, then Lennon, Lamp, Rackham, Robb, and then the second Lamp. Sneaky Scare further back. Running in hot into Enviro Waste. A race leader across the start-finish line. And Rob goes up the inside of Rackham. Lamp sitting on the back there. These cars are flying at the moment. The track's nice and smooth. A wee bit slick if anything. As Brad Rosemond goes to go up the inside of Artaperi. He's going to push him wide. Rosemond's coming through the pack at the moment. Loveridge is there beside him. Rowe in the 79 car right on the heels of Loveridge. Out in front, it is now the 151 of Sweeting. He's got through on the 5 car. Back to Lennon. So the 1, 2 and 3 have broken away just a little bit. They're racing it out. Back to Rob with Lamb. But 2 Lamb brothers are almost racing in formation shortly. Only lost 3 on the infield, but 2 of them are from that didn't start.
Rosewarne's forcing his way through.
Yeah, he's using the muscle of the tri-rail. And we know it's quick. As we look further through, a little bit of Rosewarne's up the inside of Rowe. We've just got these little individual battles now. It's almost like these guys now are just going to race this one out. They're not going to... Well, the 36 of McNally goes round. Our race leader, it is Wade Sweeting in the 151 across the start-finish line. Back to Braden Lennon, who's got through at his partner. I'd say Penn's let him go, to be fair. Harley Robb's coming in the 991. That car is very, very quick. Straight out of the box, that car's quick. But it is Sweeting at the moment, leading the race. Clocks up another lap. And we're not quite into Indian file yet, but we are getting pretty spread out around the track. Rosewarne's looking, he's really the only car on a major move at the moment. Right on the back of the 79 of Rowe. Cross gets given a bit of a hurry up. Our race leader once again clocks down another lap. Back to the pairings of Penn and Lennon. And Dan Cross is spun. He's trying to get it going over the far side of the 21 car. He was, we'll see if he's going to get it going. Yep, he's moving. Not fast, but just enough. McPherson's spun to the infield down at 4. And the 21 car is limping up by the wall out of turn 2. We are 10 laps down on lap 11 at the moment.
Sweeting just ducks to the grass to avoid the 7 car. It got spun up in front of him.
Yeah, well, it's I guess it's one of those beautiful things. Do you T-bone the car, because you're going to do a lot of damage to both here. But Sweeting's retained the lead. Back to Lennon, Rob and Penn.
Penn just got pushed wide by the 66 coming out of turn 4. He's just turned himself round.
It's the joys of being a back marker. He's spun to there.
Found reverse pretty quick.
Yes, the street stock driver in you. You help reverse and get out of there. Our race leader still Sweeting. Back to Lennon, Rob. It's good to see that the 1, 2 and 3 are the 3C cars. And the 66 of Saunders. You just wonder if he's in there for a bit of a play. Probably got to be careful who you play with, though, to be fair.
Sweeting's about to come under a ton of pressure from Lennon and Rob. They're just waiting for an opportunity.
Yeah, well, they're going to run out of laps shortly.
Lennon's going up the inside.
And Lennon will go there. Has Sweeting opened the door intentionally? Is he going to give him a wee nudge? Lennon got... Oh, and Rob's going to capitalise on this because...
And it's going to be white flag.
So this is where it gets interesting, because Lennon got a bit loose coming off 4. And I think Rob's the one that's going to do it here. Rob's going to come up the inside down at turn 3 because he's got the pace on him.
Or will he just take the second spot?
Oh no, he's going to go up the inside. And this is where Sweeting's been watching it. And Lennon just gets run wide. Rob goes through. Harley Rob will take the win. Sweeting tried to do the duck back on the inside. You could see it into that last lap.
Who's that? Is that Rosewarne that just went off into turn 4 there into the wall?
Rosewarne's parked in the wall down there. So he's trying to get it going. I'm just wondering if someone put him there. You'd be a brave man that would do that. He's got it up and going, but is it collapsed in the front? No, right rear, is it?
Something let go. He just went, must have bounced over something and just went into it. So having a look at some lap times there, Sweeting did a 19.97, quickest lap of the race. Harley Rob, who won it, a 20.03. Then we look at Lennon at 20.12. And the rest of them are all in that early 20s as well. So these guys are definitely getting on the pace, that's for sure.
Yeah, some very, very quick times. Interesting points. Certainly great points there for both Lennon and Penn as a pairing.
Yep, but Lennon looks like at the moment he's holding the individual over Rob and then back down to Kieran Skirt. So these are all unofficial points, mind you.
But we also know that we're halfway through. So we've done 3 races now.
Yep.
So we're halfway through. We go home, we reset, we come back tomorrow. And for some guys, it's going to be a completely different game plan. There'll be some people down the bottom end of these points that the meeting as far as the result is over. And so they may choose to be part of the influence, as it sounds like we're heading back down for an interview in the pits.
Hey guys, so I'm joined pitside with Jordan Deere. Geordie, well done, second place.
Yeah, better second race from us. We started off grid 3, so I was hoping to get a top 3 finish and had a really good battle with Blair Eulenberg, and he managed to take the win, which is good for me as well because my new car is actually what Blair's racing, so it'd be a shame if I was beating him in the old girl.
So this is the last battle of the stocks in the old girl. You sad to see her go?
Yeah, RW2, no, the car's known as, has been around for about 20 years now, and it's done Wayne proud for 10 years and now me proud for 10 years, and it's an awesome car, probably, well, it is the best car probably ever built, and it's won a lot of championships, so it is going to be sad to see it go.
That's totally undeniable. No one can dispute that. It probably is the best car that's ever built. But Jordan, you must be excited about getting a new one in a couple of months too.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's stepping the game up every year, and the car's quite old now. It still obviously keeps up, as you can see there tonight, but, you know, the technology's advancing, so we've got to move with the times.
Absolutely. Well, it would be nice to see the Red Walker too to actually get up on the podium, so wish you all the best. Who's your partner for this weekend?
We've got Brett Nichols, and he's had 2 pretty good races as well, so we're in the hunt at the moment, so fingers crossed.
Right, so you've got one more race tonight. Put it there. Wish you luck. Hopefully we'll come back and interview you again tomorrow, eh?
Thank you. Fingers crossed.
Awesome. Cheers, Geordie.
That was Jordan Deere down in the pits there with Bianca. Yeah, always a strong competitor at this event, isn't he?
Well, I remember him coming down years ago in the blue canoe. The Rees stock car he had, and he was part of KB's Cowboys back in the teams racing days.
Long time ago that, yep.
He showed a fair bit of potential back then, but it was interesting because KB, who I believe Ken's in the pits tonight with his granddaughter actually racing. But just interesting to see how he's developed over the years as we head back to the pits with Wayne Hemming.
Yeah, it's one Walker driver to the other. Wayne, you don't look very happy. You finished that race, but probably not as well as what you wanted.
I thought the car was on fire. I got fastest lap. We had a mechanical issue. You know, we broke a Jacob's ladder and Diff was moving around, ended up getting a puncture, and just lost all my places. I was lucky to finish probably and get the points I needed to. So no, I'm not unhappy. It's just shit happens, you know, and this is what it is. But I think we're still coming second on points, so just have to drive quite smart and hopefully get some points in this one.
You and Malcolm are definitely on fire. It'd be really interesting. You've got the fastest lap tonight, but you've also got the fastest accumulative 15 laps at the track.
Oh, yeah, I mean, lap records to me don't really mean much, you know. It's just, it's hard to get a lap record out here when there's 32 cars on the track, you know. So I don't really race for lap records and that stuff, but the car was going good in that race. It was hooked up. I come off the back and landed in 3rd or 4th, but, that mechanical issue put us back to the back of the field, so that's racing.
And where are you coming off in the 3rd and last race?
Oh, I haven't even looked. Probably mid-pack, so long as we finish.
All right, well, good luck for the rest of the night, Wayne. Cheers.
Yeah, all good.
As we come off Enviro West, our mini stocks are away on racing. We go 3 wide, 4 wide. We're going to go 4 wide. We're going to try 4, maybe 5. Oh, we're getting some bumpers in here. Oh, and the 31's been spat to the wall and backwards. I don't think that's factory.
No. I was going to say mini stock racing at its best, but no. It's not how it's supposed to work.
The 31 car of Zoe Knox back, and she's turned around and parked it on the track. So we're just about trying to have a rollover down the far end. Oh dear. Well, we're going to have a short race with carry on like that, aren't we, Tony?
Indeed. Youth. Mini stocks.
Yes. Let's be fair.
Dear. Dangerous combination.
Well, wait till the adults come out tomorrow night. They'll be so much more mature and better behaved. That's why none of them have been suspended or fined this year. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so all fun and games. So not just sparks on the track either, sparks in the pits apparently. As we look to see if the 31 car will... Well, the tow truck's trying to give it a kiss by the looks of it, just how the angle he's going in it. Anyway, we're going to go for a restart. Not that we got more than a quarter of a lap out of that.
No.
It's
Yep. You need a bit more of the 1200cc to push that around.
Wouldn't even keep the dyno moving. It's the reason I wrapped myself in a tank. Anyway, we restart. We were all stationary, and then we're going to go just bolt off the back straight. So we decided to go racing before we went racing, and now we're going racing. And holy
we're
cow,
full wide.
The 26 car bolted, and then Connor Phillips just streaked up the inside, and Bruckner was in that. It sounds like something out there is trying to let a piston out. As there's only got 4 in there, you haven't got that many to spare. There's a real battle at the front here between Phillips and Brucknell. As we look to Edgeworth, Osborne to the outside of the 26. We're going to go yellow. When are we going yellow? The 18 car. Stop. I can still hear something.
Yeah,
hammering.
Something's hammering away. We've got headphones on. We can hear it.
Is there something hammering, Ivan? Oh no, you haven't got your headset on. There is. Uh-oh. Clerk at the course has walked in, he's grumpy.
Oh dear.
And trust me, you talk about larger than life, he's 5 inches taller than me.
Alrighty.
How are we, Tony? How are we?
Yeah, well look, we're all lined up down the back straight. We haven't hit the car in front, and we're waiting for the green to wave, so it's situation normal for mini stocks. There we go. We're green. We're racing.
We're racing. So it is the Phillips car, the 12C, heads away back to Brucknell. Battle on between the 26 and the 16, the 17 of Edgeworth, 77 of Edgeworth in there. Bit of smoke coming off. That's been smoking all night. Want to make jokes about lightening up the load, but the 26 car is going to funnel on in there. Oliver McCartney. So Osborne's now in 3rd. Quite a bunch of cars in that 4th further back.
Yeah.
And Brucknell is right on the back of the 12 car. Right on the back. In fact, you'd just say they were 2 snails joined together. And Phillips goes wide. The 26 car goes round. Oliver McCartney, can he get that thing back to the infield or straighten round? Brucknell heads around into 2. We'll have down the back straight. There we go. Phew. I hear something. Oh, pile up. Oh.
It's all on in turn 2.
Yeah, that was fun.
Wrong grade. No, we're not supposed to say that. We're not supposed to encourage them. Oh dear, remember this is a non-intentional contact grade.
Just bear in mind, I've got 3 years before I got to buy, 2.5 years before I got to buy one of these, Tony. And they've gone racing. We went racing in the midst of all of that. We were off talking about nonsense, and out of all of that, Osborne's ducked up the inside of Phillips. And Bruckner will come across the start-finish line. And McSweeney right on the back of the 77 car. So Bruckner in the 99 just trying to disappear into the distance. He's got the pace. Phillips is coming back at Osborne here. Osborne's trying to close that line down. Phillips backed out of it. Discretion was the better part there. Could have just hooked into that rear bumper. Give it 4 or 5 laps of doing the same thing. You might find that he's not going to back out of it. But out in front it is Brucknell. He's having a good run here in the 99 car. And what's Phillips? Phillips looks to the inside of Osborne. And he's gone up the inside here. He's done it beautifully.
He's done it well.
And Osborne has to drop back a car length. Go back to McSweeney.
Good racing between these 2 for second place.
It is, but we get a little out of shape in the 12 car. Just came off that corner a little hot and a bit taily. But we go down to Enviro Waste and just hold that low line. Of course, in a mini stock going around this track. We've got someone who decided to drive himself into the wall. It's Edgeworth. And there's a reason he's got menace across the widescreen. And Osborne's going to pop back up the inside of Phillips, as is McSweeney. McSweeney's coming on really strong on the back end of this race.
He really is.
The 823 going to the infield. Brucknell, he's out in front at the moment. He's about to come round and probably a lap or so he's going to be on the back. Well, actually, less than that. He's going to be back in Lucy Elliott. And she'll just hold that line about 1 length off the pole line. And he's ducking up the inside. Clear line through. Away he goes. Osborne's under pressure here from McSweeney. They're going to go, one's going to go either side of the 27. No. Osborne backs out of it and goes in behind the 97. Now McSweeney is going to go wide and try and swoop into the corner. Osborne's just going to stick that nose in there and hold it. Phillips isn't out of this race either. He's right on there. And McSweeney made the same mistake that Phillips did. And actually the same mistake that Osborne had made previous. Going out wide and just allowing people to drive under you too. Phillips has gone up the inside of the 97 car off 4. White flag is out for the 99. So Bruckner will lead us around. He'll head onto the back straight past the Value Cars Warehouse grandstand, and McSweeney has a go back at Osborne up the inside as our race leader heads through Enviro Waste, and Osborne's run out
he's
wide,
overcooked that,
and it's opened the door for Phillips. So Brucknell, McSweeney, Phillips, Osborne and Ogle.
Some good racing there, particularly at the front of the field. Perhaps a little less disciplined further back, although once half the field ended up on the grass, then there was a bit more room for everyone else to do their thing. But certainly off of the top 4, Buckrill very fast all night. McSweeney came through that race really quickly, and Phillips and Osborne had a great battle. If we look at the points, unofficial for the Suck It Up Youth Mini Stock Challenge, I would suggest that McSweeney has taken it away with 73 points from Buckrill on 68, and a tie there for third place between Connor Phillips and Ogle.
13 car of Ogle.
The 13S car of Ogle. And Cody Ogle for third, both on 65 points. So that looks like those were your top 4 really, fighting over the top 3 places.
What you think you do with your four-wheel drive. What you actually do with your four-wheel drive. No matter what you do with your four-wheel drive, we've got the right tyre for you. So come on down to Mag & Turbo.
Hey, so I'm not even pit side. I'm halfway in the car with you, Malcolm. You're having a good night so far, aren't you?
Yeah, it's not bad, yeah. Keeping the wheels on at the moment.
Do you know where your place sitting with Wayne at the minute?
Yeah, we're currently running second at the moment, yeah.
Oh, and where you're coming off in this grid position?
I'm near the back somewhere again. I'm about to have a look, but yeah, I'm near the back.
Okay, and you're getting strapped in, Malcolm, so we appreciate you talking to us. We're going to let you go because we've got modifieds out on the track, but we wish you luck. Go hard.
Thank you. Thanks. Cheers.
Malcolm Nartai down there in the pits. Or not so much in the pits as in his car, but there you go.
His car should be in one of 2 places, pits or track.
Well,
the other.
Yeah,
So, you know,
he was in the pits technically, yeah, because he's definitely not in a modified.
If you were telling me he's in a BK drive-through or something, there was something.
Some rumour that, was there some rumour that Malcolm Nartai might be appearing in a modified at some point?
Oh, that rumour's been lurking for about 2 years.
Yeah, I'd heard that, but we'll have to ask him.
Facts, never let the facts get in the way of a good story.
Good story, absolutely.
Of course, Nathan Astle, that car hemorrhaged a motor in Greymouth. He did have a loaner motor for the New Zealand title, but he would have basically been jumping back in the car with no track time. So jumping into it now, he's going to get some track time, he's going to just get the feel of it.
And he babied that car in the first race. He built up over the laps in the second race. Be interesting to see how he approaches this third race, whether he takes it easy, takes it careful. I mean, there is no point in taking risks. It is, as you say, just a club night. The last thing you want is more damage.
Yeah.
On the other hand, to get his mind back in the game, maybe he does need a race where he's foot to the floor and fully on it. You know,
the other thing to remember too, it's a Friday night, which doesn't sound like much, but if you've worked during the day, most of these guys are business owners or
they've worked
senior in their business, and they've worked hard today, and so there's some of them are going to be a little tired as the modifieds head away.
And Andrew Nabin in the 69 car takes the lead from Ralph Godwin, but Godwin's got a ton of pace there. It's balked a little bit by the 69 machine. He's got to try and find a way round him. Quite tight for third there as Gary Lennon comes through. Evan Nicol and Cassandra Massey battling away. Hayden Corbett in the 22 car near the back of the field, and Nathan Astle right at the back. And almost half a lap down, Dan Ray just doing his own thing, experimenting with his experimentation. So this 99 of Ralph Godwin has the lead. He's a couple of car lengths ahead of Andrew Nabin in the 69 car. The fairly rapid 9 of Gary Lennon is closing the gap though, and I have a feeling there might be a challenge for second place at some point before the end of this race. Quite a long way back to Evan Nicol, who's holding a very steady central line and just keeping everyone tight behind him. Nathan Astle having a little moment there on the front straight, but he's gathered the car in and managed to make the pass on Nicol. And it looks as though Cassandra Massey's going to have a crack at that as well. So another lap ticked off for Ralph Godwin, who's got that 99 machine absolutely humming now. Last lap 17.4. And he's enjoying plenty of clear track in front and behind. Second place still Naven, but the gap back to Lennon is closing, and I think Lennon will be sniffing at the rear of the 69 car, looking for an opportunity within a lap or two. A long way back to Astle in 10th place, in the 10th car, in 4th place, and a long way then back to Massey in 5th place. So Naven now, just a car length ahead of Gary Lennon. 6 laps completed. Lennon may yet run out of laps to make something happen, but he definitely looks a little bit faster. Godwin goes across the line now, completes lap 7, and he's 2.6 seconds ahead of Andrew Naven, who's running a higher line, and Lennon's having to go down low to have a look alongside him, and it's costing Lennon. He likes to be higher up on the track than that. So Naven, pretty much, you might say, in his way, in the part of the track that Lennon would like to be on, and Lennon's just got to compromise a little bit with the setup of his car. And actually, Nathan Astle is probably the fastest car on the track at the moment, closing up on those guys. Yes, he is, 17.5. No one else is down at that level. So white flag time now. Naven spears off to the infield. Not quite sure what went wrong or what happened there. Something's gone wrong in that car. Godwin's running down the back straight through turns 3 and 4. He's going to take the race win. Gary Lennon inherited second place, having chased down Naven most of the race, and third to the resurgent Nathan Astle.
Oh, that was certainly a contrasting race for some of these drivers. Obviously, Kevin Band's not out there, Mike Gurley's not out there, but Ralph Godwin, from what that last race was to what that one was, quite the contrast.
Yeah.
Great to see the 99C, the splitrace.com machine, absolutely hauling. Lennon having a good run there. Ralph did clock out the last really fastest lap time on lap 3 to 17.08. However, Dan Ray in lap 10 pulled his fastest lap of a 17.1.
Just to prove what he's capable of, I guess, having spent 9 laps fiddling around, you might say, at the back of the field. Obviously trying something, don't get me wrong, there's an intention behind what he's doing there. Yeah. Last lap, foot to the floor, let's see what it can do, 17.15. Well, only fractionally slower than Godwin's fastest lap.
You talk to the likes of Hayden Mackay, who's very good friends with Dan Ray, they're very open about, well, if you want to go to a New Zealand title, if you want to win a New Zealand title, you've got to sacrifice the club nights.
Hi, Malcolm Nardo from Suck It Up. We specialise in hydro excavation in the Canterbury region, safe dig methods around services. Also we do septic tank cleaning, drain cleaning, CCTV over your pipes. If you want an excellent service, please check us out on Facebook.
Suck It Up Limited, 740 Marston Road, Christchurch. Call them 24 hours a day on 027 588 8809.
That has to be one of the biggest curses that he's had, though, because every time he's got the 1NZ, he's got hurt the same season.
Yep.
But certainly a remarkable driver. I remember when he used to show up here in his old Kruger years ago, to and then tow it down behind the double cam ute, and we always knew the guy had some talent.
In front of Simon, his brother, in the 62, Adam Joplin. And then behind Simon we've got Kendall Ashton, TWS sponsor machine, who's actually a sponsor for the top 10 shootout tomorrow night.
Yeah, Ashton's hugely behind stock car racing in New Zealand, aren't they?
Yep. And on the inside of Kendall we have Harley Robb in the 991. Behind Harley Robb, the 971 of Jaden Ward, then we've got a gap. Back on the outside we've got Jamie Hemme in the 571, debuting his new ride for the rest of the season. And Bryce Steiner in the 118 and behind Hemme. Then we go back to Ogle in the 282. Back on the inside, it looks like the wingless Godfrey. We're about to go green. The push vehicles are off the track. We're getting itchy trigger and we're away and racing. Last heat for the night for the Battle of the Stocks on night 1. As they go into turn 1, who's going to come out of it clean? Who's going to be upset? Caleb Westcott turned round. He's a pinball at the moment, gone near the back. Somebody else down the back of them. Joblin. So, but back up the front, who's going to lead us for the first lap? Harley Rob. As they come past us. And behind Rob, we have Quinn Ryan. Then we go back to Jaden Ward. Ben Hearn. Here comes Wayne Hemme. Up the inside of Bryce Steiner, around the outside of Hearn. They come out of turn 4. Rob, Quinn Ryan, Jaden Ward, Wayne Hemme, Bryce Steiner, Ben Hearn. Then we go back to Joplin. Kendall Ashton, Chad Ace. Outside of Ace, we've got Levine in the 46. Then we go back to Lynham. Daryl Wallace in the 557. We go back to Stanaway, Eulenberg, Nartai. Bit of bumper being used on these back markers. These guys near the end. And behind Nartai, we've got the 5W of Levine. Then we go back to the 41 who's just spun himself round of Malcolm Reed. Jordan Dare. Then we go back to the 571 of Jamie Hemme, Lloyd Jennings. The 62 of Joblin. Then the 52, then the 62. Brett Nichols is there. Then we go back to Phil Ogle. But back up the front, Harley Robb in the 991. He's leading us at this stage. They come through 3 and 4.
Hearn spun there. He spun very quickly, up and going though.
Harley Robb still leading us as they go into turns 1 and 2. Quinn Ryan in the 46. He's sitting in that second spot. Then we go back to Jaden Ward in the 971. Here's Wayne Hemme up the inside of Malcolm Reed, who's a back marker now. He's just gone up high. He's going to circulate for points. Wayne Hemme's on a mission now. He's chasing down Jaden Ward. Bryce Steiner. Then we go back to Chad Ace. 46 of Levine. Then we go back to Stanaway, Daryl Wallace, Ashton, 5W Keegan. Then we go back to Lynham in the 99 car. The 62 car of Adam Joblin pulls to the infield. But our race leader, still Harley Robb in the 991 car. As he goes down the back straight, he's opened up about a dozen over Quinn Ryan, who's got about the same over Jaden Ward. Wayne Hemme's about a couple of car lengths in behind Ward. Harley Robb's coming up against the first of the back markers. He just gives Godfrey a bit of bumper, just knocks him offline a bit, shoots up the inside. Comes out on turn 2. Levine just bounces off the ball in the 5W. Trevor Lynham just turned himself round. Ben Hearn breaks to avoid him. Harley Robb, he's going to try and split them open, get through the gap. Another lap. He gets up the inside of the 99 end. Quinn Ryan's now stuck in behind these guys. Wayne Hemme's up the inside of Jaden Ward. Ward's just holding him down low as they go down the back straight. Ward, Hemme. Then we've got Steiner, Chad Ace. As they come off 4. Hemme's up the inside of Jaden Ward. Jaden Ward gives Hemme a bit of bumper. Hemme's on the brake. They come out of turn 2. Hemme's got the power. As they go down, just pulls a little bit in front. Jaden Ward's going to shoot back up the inside. Hemme's up high. Ward's down low. Chad Ace has just gone in hot round the outside of Steiner. They drift up high. Ward's back up the inside. Ace has got past Steiner.
Hearn's parked at 4. I know he's back and going. I know he's broken.
He's trying to get going again. Let's pick up our race leader. He's just coming past the start-finish line. Then we go back to Quinn Ryan. The race is for 3rd and 4th. Wayne Hemme, Jaden Ward. They're arguing it out for that spot. Chad Ace, he's in behind them. As is Steiner, 46 Levine. 87 of Stanaway. Then we go back to the 5W of Levine. Then we go back to Daryl Wallace, Eulenberg, Jordan Dare, Ashton, Malcolm Nartai. Harley Robbs, he's out in front. He's got a dozen over Quinn Ryan, who's got a dozen over Hemme and Ward that are fighting it out for the 3rd and 4th spot. Hemme's just pulled away. Couple of car legs. White flag this time round. Harley Robb, the 991. Then we go back to the 46 of Quinn Ryan. Wayne Hemme has picked up that spot over Jaden Ward. As they go into turns 1 and 2. Ward's about to come under a wee bit of pressure from Chad Ace, who's fast in this race. But our race leader, as he comes past the checkered flag. Harley Robb, suck it up machine. Then we go back to Quinn Ryan. And behind Ryan, we'll have Wayne Hemi, Jaden Ward, Chad Ace, Steiner, 46 Levine, Stanaway, 5W. Then we go back to Wallace, Jordan Deere, Eulerberg, Ashton, Nartai, the 52 of Scott Joblin. And behind him, we'll go back to 48 Brett Nichols, Lloyd Jennings, and the 571 of Jamie Hemi.
Yeah, fastest car on the track there, 19.01 was Harley Robb, but that's just a reflection of having clear air in front of him on lap 3. Although, to be fair, on lap 15 he did pull the fastest lap time of the rest of the pack too, but once again, clear air in front of him. Looking at the points, that would put Harley Robb highest on individual points, if you believe what the ELS is telling us, followed by Jaden Ward. And then Quinn Ryan, and then we drop back to Stanaway on 79. So, interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what the wash shows tomorrow, and who we're going to have in the shootout. But some very, very fast cars there.
Oh, exactly. And that shootout's going to be one to watch. It's one of those ones that you take the challenge, go off the back, or do you take the points? Or depends if your partner makes the top 10 with you.
Well, I'm just looking at, I don't know Quinn Ryan very well at all, but if I look at the other names that I can see in there, there's 2 or 3 egos that could not resist that opportunity. You know, factor in the fact that you've got, so Malcolm Nartai, just looking at the points there, he isn't actually, he's on 74 points, he's quite a long way back when you've got like Jordan Deere on 76, you've got 79 on Stanaway, 77 on Levine, 77 on Ace, for Ace. So Malcolm might only just be on the cusp of that top 12 shootout.
Yep.
That being said, it will be up to, if we believe the ELS that sits here now, Harley Robb will have the choice to go off the front.
Yep, very quickly we've got Harley Robb here. Harley Robb, that was probably the biggest finish of the night. Well done.
Yeah, no, the car's really going good on that slick track. So we love a slick track, so it was bloody good.
Do you know where you're standing in the total point score?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I haven't actually looked.
We'll try and find out for you, but I wanted to congratulate you. That was an awesome win.
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, as soon as we got to the front, it sort of just kept it nice and smooth and just couldn't look up and there was no one there, so we just started cruising after that.
Yeah. Hey, I've just had a little word in my ear, Harley. You're actually leading.
Oh, geez, I'm leading the super stocks and the stock cars.
Hey, no pressure for tomorrow at all.
Yeah, no, we'll have a few beers tonight. We won't get too silly and then we'll give it another go tomorrow.
Do you want to give a quick shout out to your sponsors?
Yeah, massive thanks to obviously Malcolm and Megan, Suck It Up for the super stock, and then David Ford and his family for the stock car. You know, without people like these guys and all our sponsors, we couldn't do what we do. It's all good me jumping in there and driving it, but it's the people behind the scenes no one sees.
Yeah, absolutely. They put in just as much hard work, eh?
Yeah, and all the money.
The good stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck for tomorrow, Harley. Well done. Put it there. Awesome.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So based on the points that we have sit in front of us at the moment, Harley Robb is leading the super stocks and on individual points, and Braden Lennon is leading the stock cars on individual points.
Which means that, if that's confirmed overnight, it should be, they have the choice of running off the back of the shootout for double points tomorrow night.
It would be tempting.
Yeah.
Very tempting.
Very tempting. Very tempting. So that's something they've got to think about tonight, those guys.
How many laps do you reckon Malcolm's done around the track tonight? Because he's literally back out there in the Super Saloon after just doing 15 laps in the Super Stock.
So off the front there, we've got the 492 Campbell McManaway and the 1NZ of Pete Dixon. Second row is Hayden Mackay in the 86 and Terry Soper in the 8D. Third row, 871, Luke Keegan in the 73 of Fluffy Grocott. Then we go back to Malcolm Nartai and Richie Taylor, Ricky Bolton and Al Lister, the 76 car of Paul Berg, and the 3NZ alongside him and a few further back as well. But we're green, we're racing, 25 laps of Super Saloon action thanks to Elsdon Eldercare underway, and it's Pete Dixon around the outside who makes it stick, makes it work, and the 492 cannot keep pace. Soper just touching the wall as he went.
He's lost the steering now.
And he's lost something, yep. So he's broken the 8 car. Whether he can get it to the infield or not, I don't know. I suspect he's going to try. And he's made it. Yeah, he's done a front wheel there, which is at a very odd angle. So he's done well to get his car off the track and onto the grass. But it's Pete Dixon who leads this race. And he's got a handy lead after a couple of laps from the 492 of Campbell McManaway, who's jinking it out with the 86 of Hayden Mackay and the 73 of Fluffy Grocott. It's a few car lengths back to the 871 of Luke Keegan, who's got a very rapid 58. Richie Taylor behind him in contact there as Richie Taylor and Malcolm Nartai both went for the same space, and Taylor gets into the back of Keegan as well. Nartai's back on track. Everyone going for the same little bit of clay there, and it ended it.
To be fair, the little bit of contact on Keegan, I think, was that don't pull down on us like you just did.
Yeah.
That was a very much, you don't see Richie get aggressive like that often, and I think that was a warning shot.
Yeah, you might be right. So out front, Pete Dixon's got this race by the scruff of the neck, although there's a lot of laps to go. Hayden Mackay's got past McManaway and is, if anything, is starting to close down on Dixon. It'll be interesting to see the delta, the gap as they go across. It was 2.59, it's now 2.41. Yeah, Mackay is closing on Dixon. A long way to go, but he's closing on him. McManaway in third place, 73. Grocott is in fourth. Then we go back quite a long way to this battle between Keegan, Taylor and Ricky Bolton, and Malcolm Nartai very quickly joining the back of those three as well. Keep an eye on that group of 4 cars mid-pack. Could be some fireworks before the race is over.
Something was wrong with Berg's car, and the 91 car just drove straight into him.
Oh, he did too. So we go yellow, and that's going to close up the gap. The delta was down to 2.40 for Hayden Mackay. It was 2.41, so Mackay is quicker than Dixon, but whether he's quicker by enough of a margin that over 20 laps he could pass him, I don't know.
Just looking at the 91 car of Russ, in that bit of contact, he's cost himself his right front.
Has two. But the rest of the field are concertinaing and ready to go racing, and away we go. It's the 1NZ car of Pete Dixon who leads us away. Hayden Mackay hot on his tail now. We know Mackay was actually quicker before the race stopped there. The 492 of McManaway's holding on to third. Malcolm Nartai's come to a halt on the front straight. We must go yellow. Don't know what's happened to his car.
It does certainly. We're going to see the replay of what happened there. So there's been an incident. So it's now huckered up.
Got to say that carefully.
I did.
You did.
Hence
well
why I didn't make a mistake when I said it, Tony.
Very good. No. I'm well done. Gold star for Jared. So he's able to get to the infield of his own steam. Here's the replay. Looks as if he's got tangled up with Willie Woodhouse.
On the restart. Interesting. Oh, Willie, they got into each other on the start. Or into the back of them.
Yep, they got into each other on the start. So, yeah, there we go.
So they're going to put Willie to the back because, by the looks of it. So that aggressive saloon just picking on all those supers.
Oh, it's shocking, isn't it? Just when we were talking him up as well. All right, restart number 2. Here we go. Peter Dixon.
As we watch the
Can Mackay stay with him? Mackay's a wily customer. He'll have watched what happened first time round. Oh yes, he's much more on the rear bumper of the one car at this point. He tucks the nose in up the inside, but he just hasn't got the drive mid-turn that the 1NZ car has. But he does have a little bit more pace overall, and I just wonder if he can use that over the course of the next 10 laps. 492 trying to stay with Mackay, but Mackay's opening a gap a little bit there. Fluffy Grocott's right on the back of McManaway, and then we go to Keegan, who's driving an uncharacteristic low line. Grocott gets very taily in turn 2 there, loses ground. 58 Richie Taylor sees an opportunity. Can he put his nose up the inside there? No, it closes. Doesn't get the chance to make the pass. Side by side, Richie Taylor forces his way up the inside of the 871 car, and at the same time past the 73 of Grocott. Coming out of turn 2, he takes over 4th place. Good aggressive driving there from Richie Taylor. Take no prisoners stuff. Dixon's building a bit of a lead here. Was 1.8 seconds ahead, now 1.9 ahead of Mackay. Mackay's got the 492 tucked in behind him, but not particularly close, and it's definitely Richie Taylor who's the quickest car on the track at the moment. Behind him there's a good battle between Keegan and Grocott, and tucked on the back of them is the 861 of Ricky Bolton. Malcolm Nartai is back on the track and circulating. but not as quickly as he'd like. So out front, coming out of turn 4, about to go across the start-finish line to complete 10 laps. It's Peter Dixon in that 1NZ car. Looks as if it's about to fall over every time it goes round the turn, but it is quick. He's doing some pretty impressive lap times for this late on a Friday night. 18.8 his last lap there, which is not a bad thing on a track that's had a lot of racing on it. He's coming up to his first back marker, which is the 88 of Dave Manera. Mackay lifting the inside front wheel through the turn there. He's giving absolutely everything out of that chassis. And the 58 of Richie Taylor, he's got past McManaway and he's on the hunt for Mackay now. Dixon's made the pass safely enough on the back marker. It's cost him a little bit of time, but he's far enough ahead of Mackay, and Mackay's yet to have to make that pass. Now Dixon's going to come back on the back of Huddlestone, Carey and Woodhouse within a couple of laps, I think, and that'll be his next challenge, to thread the needle between those 3 cars and see whether or not he can maintain the gap to Hayden Mackay. Mackay's still yet to get past Manera, so that gives you some idea. Carey pulls off in the 12N car. It's been great to have him back here at Woodford Glen. Come back soon, Shane, we love you. But out front, it's the 1NZ car. Making the pass now on Huddleston. Mackay's got past Manera, and so Manera pulls off, which makes it very easy for Richie Taylor to get past. So you get the feeling Taylor's a little bit quicker than Mackay, but Mackay cannot close the gap on Dixon. It just keeps growing, up to 4 seconds now. Richie Taylor 1.6 back from Mackay. McManaway holding station in 4th place there, but he's going to get gobbled up before the end of the race, I think, by Luke Keegan and Ricky Bolton. And then we go back to Fluffy Grocott, who has uncharacteristically just faded in this race. And behind him, Malcolm Nartai. So coming through Enviro Waste turn, about to come down the front straight to tick off a lap 17. It's Peter Dixon. He's got through on Willie Woodhouse. And Hayden Mackay running that 86 Super Saloon, but he's a long, long way back. This is exactly the situation where Dixon's rear steer car can just use all of the track, all of the race space, and put that power down. Gap grows to 4.36 over Mackay, and Richie Taylor's 1.7 back behind Mackay. So Taylor's advance forward has kind of stopped, halted if you like. Mackay's able to keep it. So we're white flag now, so it was only a 20 lap race, not
Smoke
25.
coming off Huddlestone badly.
So just 1 lap to go for Pete Dixon. It's not a 25 lap race, it's a 20 lap race. This is the last lap. This is the last lap at Woodford Glen tonight. And will he make the pass on the 4 car? No, he just feathers it across the line, takes the win. You'd have to say meat and drink, easy stuff for Pete Dixon.
Yeah, he's done it. Brought it home. We've finally got to see that car toned down a little bit.
Yeah.
But it is very, very quick. I can understand why people want it banned.
Yeah, yeah. Well said. Yeah, no, it's 100%.
If you can't beat it, ban it.
Yeah, yeah.
We're back here tomorrow night. There's a whole bunch of super stock drivers and stock car drivers that have got a lot of work to do tonight.
They do. They do.
And we'll be back tomorrow evening to this shootout's going to be fun. 2 lots of shootouts. Lots
both
of
with Harley Robb.
Well, I don't know if that was the highlight for me, but yeah, certainly we're going to get to see the super stocks back, and the way they are going, it's just they're on a knife edge at the moment. So we're looking forward to be back here, courtesy of Suck It Up, TWS and CHS, as well as thank you to Elston Elder Care for looking after the super saloons this evening. And yeah.
Thank you for coming along to the stadium or for watching the stream. We hope you've had a good time. We've had a laugh, and we'll do it all again tomorrow. Till then, take care. Goodbye.
Hey, so I'm pit side with Mike Dixon, current 1NZ of the Pete Dixon, current 1NZ of the Super Saloons. You've just taken out the win of the feature. That was an awesome race.
Yeah, no, it was good. I suppose it helps starting off the front as well. The race before we had something come off the car, so it wasn't very good, but it's good to make up for it.
Absolutely. How did you find the track tonight? Because it was a bit challenging, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was definitely a slick track. It suits me, I guess. But yeah, I guess they prepped the track for the super stock boys and the stock cars. So yeah, we're just lucky to come and have a skid with them. So it's quite good.
So you're not too upset about the state of the track because it was actually quite perfect for your car rather than the stock cars, like you said.
Yeah, well, yeah, it suited my car to the ground. I don't know exactly what the other boys want, but yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, it was good for us.
And you're back here tomorrow night?
No, we're not here tomorrow night. We're in Cromwell for a Darryl Ainsley Memorial down there, so should be good. Hopefully we can carry a bit of form down there.
Yeah, carry on the winning down at Cromwell. Hey, just before we go really quickly, would you like to give a shout out to your sponsors on the car?
Yeah, Tauranga IDM is a big sponsor of us. We've got Base Up, Tune Up, we've got heaps actually. Got Lucinde Abbott at Harcourts in Christchurch, Perimapine, not too much. I'm not too sure who else, but yeah.
That was really unfair of me because I did put you on the spot, but you did well.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Well, we wish you safe travels. We'll let you back to the car. We literally pulled you out of the car at the end of the race, so well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So everyone, we hope you enjoyed that tonight. That concludes our viewing for the night. So we'll see you back here tomorrow. Can't wait for those shootouts. Harley Robin too.